Nerdrotic.com.
Welcome, travelers, to the fringes of reality, where the strange and mysterious meet, and the thin veil between fact and fiction is torn. Welcome to the Forbidden Frontier.
Woo! We back. I'm back.
You're back.
Yay!
You're back.
We missed you.
It's good to be back, guys. I missed you.
Oh, God bless America.
Hell yeah.
That's right. We're starting a little early today. And the reason we're starting a little early today is so we could talk about the current events and give our esteemed guest his full time to talk about what we wanted to talk about. It's the great Hugh Newman from Megalithomania. Good dude.
Oh, I'm so excited about that.
I'm so excited about this, but we're going to spend the first 30 minutes talking about the attempted assassination on President Trump. So welcome back, Adam. How are you?
Thank you. Oh, I'm doing great. I had a fantastic vacation. I went up to Stockholm. I took my bike with me, and I found some insane downhill mountain biking paths in the hills of Stockholm. And I had an absolute blast. I mean, we spent some time with family, but like that was one of the highlights. It was a blast. And then I was out in with my in-laws over the past weekend, and I basically had everything halt because once this happened yesterday, like I couldn't sleep. I was glued to trying to figure out what was going on, like how it happened, and then I woke up early. I only slept like 4 hours last night. I've driven I think 16 hours total in the past week, so I've had so much driving, and I've been in different beds, like wasn't my own bed. So I've been sleeping
Do that in a day here in America.
I understand.
I know it's
Getting
true.
groceries.
It's true. Yeah, I know it's hilarious because Europe is tiny, but anyway, it's still like I woke up really early and I went back to try to figure out what was going on. So I know a lot about this whole Trump thing. So and
Good.
I still want to know more. I still want to know more because I feel like we are being kept in the dark from, and there's just so many things that don't make sense. But anyway, I'm doing great. It's good to be back. I can't wait to talk to Hugh. I saw the video that you guys made for me of him saying hi to me when you guys all were hanging out at the Cosmic Summit. So that's cool. But I'm excited. I want him to sign my books. I got his books right behind me. I should actually pull them out so I can be like, hey, Hugh.
Yeah, visual aid.
He's actually closer to
downstairs.
you
There
than
you go.
us right now.
Yeah.
Right, because he's in the UK or what?
Yeah.
South UK.
I got
Nice.
blang blang, Hugh Newman. Anyway, I'm
He does
excited.
a conference.
Is
I love
yours
it.
signed? Because
Really?
mine's signed.
Oh, look at
Oh,
that.
cool. Yeah,
Oh.
thanks. Yeah, wonderful.
Stroke it in more,
I
Gary.
wanted to see
Cool.
if yours were.
No. I keep checking, hoping one day
One day
I'll
it'll
just
show
open
up.
it and be like, oh, it's signed.
He's like the tooth fairy.
Anyway, yeah. Oh, do I have to leave him under my pillow?
Yeah,
Is
you
that-
got-
Probably. That's it.
that's how I sleep
All
with
right.
mine.
I knew something was wrong. Okay, I'll try that. Anyway,
It'll probably tell you the origins of the tooth fairy, which is some mythological creature that ripped the teeth out of children, or something. There probably is a real origin of tooth fairy. I don't know what it is, but Garrett, what's up?
Hey man, just crazy events happening. I was much like you. I was hanging out with my kids. Wife's out of town for the weekend, so we were playing games and watching TV. And I hadn't had my phone on me, and then I checked my phone, and 2 hours ago, Donald Trump was attempted assassination.
Pretty close.
It was wild. It was wild watching everyone's reaction
Was it
to
wild?
it.
That was
and
actually wild.
That was actually wild.
Yes.
Actually wild
Yes.
scenarios
Yes.
going on. The different people saying this is who the shooter is, this is what happened, this is a photo of him, and then the coverage of it is what pisses me off. I don't want to say the most because somebody tried to kill him, but one of the things is the coverage from CNN, and it's appalling. It was appalling. So can't wait to get back into it. But yeah, it's a good episode, man. Hugh Newman, it's gonna be great.
It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be great.
Hello, X-Ray Girl.
Hi. Similar story to all of you, I guess. Right before Saucy Saturdays, get the news, and we spent like 2 hours just waiting for the coverage to unfold. And same thing, CNN. Ugh. Words really do matter. It's like I was bleeding or I was gushing with blood. And it was kind of like those two differences. It's like technically he was bleeding, but if you say just bleeding, like it doesn't sound that bad. But no, the man was shot.
You're missing part of his ear.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Oh yeah.
shame on them.
Well,
Oh, more than that.
yeah.
We're still on YouTube. I know we're on Rumble, but we're still on YouTube, so I'm gonna refrain from saying what I would like to say.
The media is the enemy of the people.
Oh yeah.
The corporate media is
100%.
the enemy of the people, and they
100%.
put that on full display yesterday, today, 5 minutes ago, tomorrow. It's the way it's always been. It's the way it always will be. You will need to seek out independent media that you trust on your own.
Yep.
And we cannot get half truths or complete lies spoon fed to us anymore. I don't even. I turned it on for a couple. I had it with just muted on Fox, and they were terrible too. So
Even Fox.
they're and CNN with that he fell, and then
My TV
it to an incident.
I turn my TV on, and it usually just cycles through different things that are happening, different suggested movies to watch. And this one had CNN on it, and it said, the continued coverage of Donald Trump's injury. I'm sorry. Did he skin his knee? Did he fall down?
Right.
Oh, he got a bump? No.
No.
There was an attempted assassination on him.
And
Somebody was murdered. CNN.
Yes,
Correct.
they keep skipping that guy. They keep skipping
Just completely ignored.
the man who was murdered,
Yeah.
and the two injured people, severely injured people, and not a mention of them really. And
Disgusting.
then there's fucking Destiny out there acting like a complete retard.
Well, I partly think that he's doing it just because of engagement.
Absolutely, he's doing it.
He's
for
making
engagement.
a lot of money.
He doesn't
of other
care,
people's rage,
and
but I think he's serious also. You know.
no, I think he's serious.
If you do it for engagement, you're just as much of a piece of shit.
I
I'm
can
sorry,
only-
but you're just as dirty. Like
Yeah.
that's gross. That is disgusting
From what
because
he's
people will
saying.
follow you.
But-
People follow Destiny
but
and listen to what he has to say.
it's just like the mainstream media. It's not a surprise, Garrett, like at all.
Oh,
Like, this is
absolutely. Not a surprise.
absolutely. Maybe you thought there's a shred of humanity, or it's not. It's not.
And Hassan, another one,
Oh.
not surprised.
Yeah.
Not surprised.
Trump is clip farming. He's just clip farming. Look at him
He got clipped.
raising his fist. Huh. It's like, what? What do you mean clip farming? Like the
A
dude
big
got
shocker.
shot.
The guy who
He
did-
stood up and said, "Fight." It's like that is the most badass shit I have ever seen.
Image is hardcore.
yeah, that changed a lot of stuff, and a big shock that the guy who used to do bro tips really isn't that bright when it comes to politics or just life.
Facts.
I'm super fucking shocked about all of that. So
Check out that. That's really
Yeah.
cool. I saw that.
Yeah. Yeah. This video, this picture. There's so many good pictures of just quality.
I want that painting.
Oh, I see you got someone muted. I'm curious. Don't click it. Don't
I know
click
who
it.
it is. I'm gonna go see who it is.
It's probably me.
Oh, it's Hodge twins. What the heck?
What?
Why do you got Hodge twins muted?
I don't know.
What?
I have nothing wrong with the
dare
Hodge
you.
twins.
The Hodge twins are great.
Maybe it was when they were trying to sell that truck thing, and I was like, okay, that might have been it.
They were
I
pushing that
mute
pretty
people
heavy.
on.
So this
Yeah,
morning, I looked at a couple different newspapers, and there's a lot of people that are posting different newspapers. Like Arizona had front page, just big cannabis leaves, best place to grow cannabis. New York Times didn't. None of these newspapers had anything about what happened at the Trump rally, which just blows me away. It's the biggest news that's happened. I mean, maybe ever. I mean, the attempted assassination of a president, or not a sitting president, just a former president of the United States. That's insane.
Currently running
That's
for office. Yeah.
Okay,
crazy.
just to give you an idea, like we're moving towards like late 60s-esque turmoil. Like we're not there yet, by the way. I wasn't alive during that time, but I'm certainly aware of how much was going on during the 60s, and we're not there yet, but we're fucking close.
I don't want to even think about what could have happened if what happened turned out the other way.
Right.
The people that are ready to like
with
rock,
with COVID, Summer of Love, and this, it's getting pretty close to that kind of turmoil. So
well, that was the CIA, right?
Let's
think about the 60s and the CIA. They were really like solidifying their grip on the world, really. I mean, and it's been kind of winding down. I mean, people are aware of what they did in Ukraine. They're aware of what they've done to countless different countries in the planet. I mean, people are waking up to their power on the world over other governments, over the American government. Let's be real.
The institutions that they are in control of are losing power, and that's, we cover it in Hollywood, obviously, but that's pretty much it. Social media, all these institutions they thought they do have in their back pocket, and they can just control the people. They just completely saw past the fact that they overplayed their hand, and now they can't control the people because as any evil genius will tell you, you need to show restraint. And they stopped showing restraint, and they went completely overboard to push this fucking insane narrative, and they have lost and this is a narrative that they carefully scripted, and they lost the plot of their own narrative, and now they don't know what to fucking do. And that's the good that came out of the Summer of Love and COVID. I forgot who tweeted it. I want to give him credit, but somebody pointed out today on Twitter that, hey, there was an attempted assassination on President Trump. There have been no riots. No riots.
It's a good point.
Oh.
There should be. People should be rioting. Like it's. But the crazy thing is, look. Whoa, let me finish. When the right riots, though, buildings don't burn. There's a difference.
It's targeted.
I think what happened afterwards, it's the saddest thing is somebody died. Somebody died.
Facts.
That's the saddest thing.
A father.
A father died.
A real hero.
Yeah, going out saving your kid. Well, we just talked about that, Adam. I'd want to go out. I'm fine with going out like that. But no, I think Trump getting up and pumping his fucking fist, and then everybody just go afterwards.
Iconic.
That's
Facts.
more than any fucking riot or stupid protest would accomplish. That image right there. Will
standing your ground, standing back up, not going like, oh man, going, no, I'm still here. I'm still coming back. You can't stop us. No matter who crazy people out there, because I don't want to get too conspiratorial. So I don't want to say they are doing this, they are attacking him. I think they are just allowing things to happen, right? You don't need to, and in fact, this would be the dumbest thing to do, is to personally be like, I'm going to have you go assassinate him. That'd be stupid. That gets blood on your hands. What you do is you pump people full of SSRIs, you make them feel numb, and just by the sheer possibility, you open up the door, and some percentage of people will take that. When you put out messages from the current sitting president, we need to put him in a target.
Well, how about those kids who
somebody might do it?
Tried to kidnap Whitmer, right?
Well, let me give you a little. Let me give you a little.
A lot of entrapment. But no, I'm just gonna say the precedent has been set in the past. Okay,
it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility.
Okay, two things. First, the parents of the shooter, both therapists. Okay, so it would make sense that this kid has probably been pumped full of SSRIs. I don't know for a fact, right? But it would make sense. Wouldn't surprise me. Yesterday, Joe Biden was seen saying in his speech, he was speaking yesterday or 2 days ago now, this Friday. All right, saying Donald Trump is a threat to the nation. He said those exact words on Friday. The very next day, someone tried to take out Trump. I mean, not to mention the rhetoric that has been pushed by the left for 8 years. Nazi, Hitler. He's the
and then
destroying America.
They go, oh no, there's no place in our country for political violence. There's no place. What have you been calling? That's kind of weird that you'd say that if you really thought he was Hitler, if you really thought that, hey, you'd be cheering on this guy, right? But now you turn and you say there's no place for political violence.
Yeah,
come on, guys.
There is a BlackRock connection, but I don't know if it's for certain. Someone claims that there's this commercial that BlackRock made years ago where it's about some professor or something, and one of the kids in the class it looks like him. I don't know if it's actually him, but it is a kind of a weird thing that somehow they might be involved with. So I don't know. Who knows?
I have a weird question though. Like, he was wearing a Demolition Ranch shirt. Now, what do you think that's such a weird thing? Because Demolition Ranch, I love Demolition Ranch. Great guys, great channel. There's obviously there are more gun guys. They'd be related to Gary. They took Gary out.
Oh no, they took Gary out.
I would assume perceived as right leaning.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think that person was wearing that shirt? To imply that was the?
It feels that way.
That's what it. That's what I feel like.
Well, let me. So the same reason why they are now saying he's a registered Republican, right? Which he, according to the records, he is a Republican. But at the same time, anyone can change their registration. True, whatever. Yeah. He might have been trying to. He might have been trying to screw with the RNC, trying to like get to vote for someone else. But also he donated right after Biden got reelected. He donated to Biden to Act Blue. So it's like, well, you're not. I don't see Republicans giving money to Act Blue. Like that's a weird core. Like I don't see that happening, right? So I think that people that want to make it seem that they could put it on Republicans, and then look at what Harry Sisson is saying, right? Oh well. He's a registered Republican, so it's a Republican going after their own. Like they're eating each other now. It's like more reason for them to, I don't know,
distance themselves from it.
Distance themselves from accountability. No, this was a Republican. This was on their side of the aisle. Now they're going for the gun talk. Now they're trying to. Can we talk about gun control
David
now?
Hogg's already come out.
You know, and it's like, oh my God, you guys have. It's ridiculous.
By the way, my internet was down like most of the day yesterday, and it's been really iffy today. So, cross your fingers, everybody. Cross your fingers. So the narrative. I was talking to Chris Gore like right when this happened because like he's the first person. He messaged me and said I'm sick to my stomach, and I'm like, "Are you okay? What the fuck's going on?" And then I got the rest of I saw Benny's tweet and watched it go down. And the first thing Chris said to me, and he's right, is be really interesting to see what the media's reaction is to this because they are not going to
pull up my tweet here. Let me find it. Actually,
as somebody has pointed out, they've been calling him Hitler. So now you want to wish Hitler a great recovery? Like what the fuck? Which one is it? Is it the hyperbole or hyperbole? Or complete bullshit that you've been running out of just pure desperation because you can't put up a candidate that can compete with him at all.
Here's 4 examples.
He is clearly not part of the system, you know?
Right.
Like him or not, he's clearly outside the system, which makes him appealing to more people. And something I said to Jeremy the night of the election in 2020 or the next day after the amazing comeback victory at 3:00 in the morning. I said, hey, this might be a good thing because, like, okay, we'll see their policy on display for the next 4 years, and then people will be able to decide. And that's why I don't think what happened.
I don't think that they're in control. I think a lot of people think that they're in a power position. I don't think they are. I think they're completely out of control. All of the things that they've been setting up these last few years have been crumbling around them. Joe Biden looks like a fucking complete mess when he went up on that debate stage. They freaked out. They turned on him. They're internally trying to figure out what they're going to do. They don't have a candidate. They haven't built up a candidate, and things are just completely crumbling around them. I think they're in chaos. And they don't know what's going on.
They are like I said earlier. You're absolutely right.
I mean the Democrats. Like,
yes, the Democrat, the state. It's
the state. The state. That's better. Yeah, the state.
Party. It's the fucking uniparty, and their control has been crumbling because they're such selfish fucks, and they're all in it for their own personal gain, and they know exactly what they're doing, and they're just like, well, I'm gonna make as much as I can, and then I'll go off and live a comfortable life, and I don't think they care about their own thing. Hang on, the country's going to turn to shit in like 50 years, and I won't be alive, so I might as well have some fun. And they're a bunch of selfish fucking assholes that are no different than your average adult pretender in Hollywood, except they actually make fucking policy. And quite frankly, it's too much for us. We need to keep voting. We need to vote in person, but it's like, we also need to make time in our lives to find out who's lording over us locally. I've been preaching this forever because I made that mistake. I'm like, whatever. It's immaterial until I had a socialist come to my fucking house in San Francisco, want his vote. And I told him to fuck off. So that's how it happens. They take advantage of the fact that we're busy running the country and they're out having a big fucking party, fucking it up. They don't fucking care. And now they partied a little too hard. And they went a little too far, and they're losing power, and they don't know what to do, and they're like a cornered animal with fucking rabies and AIDS, and rabies AIDS, and shit like this has happened, and they've been running this rhetoric for 8 years, and Hollywood has helped them. Hollywood has absolutely been a huge part in stirring up the division in this country, along with social media, and who's getting work every fucking day.
Yeah. And every fucking movie.
But this is it. This is the result of that. So the media is to blame on this one because they aren't the media anymore. They're just a propagandist arm.
Popping loud noises. Popping noises. Keep going.
Yeah, go back to that other one, that previous one. I'm sorry I talked over that, but that first one from the AP is unbelievable, dude. Read
Donald Trump has been escorted off the stage by Secret Service during a rally after loud noises ring out in the crowd.
Loud noises.
What? Secret Service rushes Trump off stage after popping noises heard at his Pennsylvania rally.
I'm surprised they didn't say balloons. Somebody was popping balloons, and then he cut himself. And it was all staged. And I love the tweets that are going around right now that there's going to be a class action lawsuit for $1 gazillion for the family. And there should be for anybody who says it's staged.
Trump removed from stage by Secret Service after loud noises startled former president. More like a bullet struck him. And, and then people were like, oh, it wasn't a bullet. It was a teleprompter. And it's like, did you watch the video? Both teleprompters are fine. Both teleprompters are fine. They were okay. So it's like, no. And dude, the left was trying so hard. Like, oh, it was just a piece of glass. Like even if it was
to do the most boilerplate basic
even if it was,
what if
a bullet hit the
teleprompter
and the teleprompter exploded?
Garrett, let's play the game. Play the game of flipping it around. You're absolutely right. Let's flip this around.
What if?
Let's flip it around.
It was Joe Biden, man.
We'd be
assassination of the president. Assassination of the president. Dude, it would have been insane.
Mm-hmm.
True. That's true.
It would have been
insane. Or any president. Obama.
These people
Bush,
are fucking fake.
Clinton. Is Carter still alive?
David Jackson, whoever you are, you're a hack.
Right? He's alive, isn't he?
But that's what I mean about
Carter.
Words. He using these words downplays it, and it's super unfair because of the gravity of what happens, and they need to come to terms on how this comes across.
Yeah. All I've got to say is corporate media, keep it up. Keep doing what you're doing. You're waking more people up. We'll get some more independent news out of this. And some good. I know it's frustrating, but good will come out of it because it's waking up.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
A lot more.
We can't. There is so much to talk about, but I want to link it to our show. All right, so I want you guys to play
because we only
this
got
video.
like a few more minutes, so we're gonna play this video. This is
Now,
crazy.
there is a rabbit hole of like, why did the Secret Service let the sniper on the roof? Why was there a cop that actually like approached him and left when he fired or pointed his rifle at the cop? I mean, there's all sorts of stuff. The sniper claiming that he actually had the guy in his sights and was like, "Can I take a shot?" And the higher ups were like, "Don't engage." And then after the guy did the shots, the sniper shot anyway and got fired. None of this has been confirmed yet, but this is a rabbit hole. But the thing that that blew me away the most was 3 months ago. There's this video of a man. I'll just let him speak for yourself.
Just the March 14th.
March 14th.
March 14th.
All throughout America, all throughout. And I saw Trump rising up. And then I saw an attempt on his life. This bullet flew by his ear and it came so close to his head that it busted his eardrum. And I saw he fell to his knees during this time frame and he started worshiping the Lord. He got radically born again during this time frame. I'm talking, people say he's saved now, but he becomes really on fire for Jesus for what I saw coming. And
oh my God. I have chills.
How the fuck did he get? How the hell did that happen? This is 3 months ago. What? How?
Crazy.
More. How? How did he know that
It's
there was
insane.
going to be an attempt on his life that would go? And he specifically talks about right by his head, and it would
Blood.
bust his eardrum. He got hit in the ear. What is this?
Explain that.
Is it? Did he see the future? Was he visited by something? Was it a premonition? Now he continues talking. He talks about how he then sees Trump. He actually saw that Trump was dealing with a lot of court issues. We know that he had 34 indictment, felony bullshit, whatever. And then suddenly it stops. I'm reiterating what this guy says. Suddenly it stops. Then there's the attempt on his life, and then he wins the presidency. And I'm like, this is insane.
And
He dealt with the court issues, and then he got an attempt on his life right by his ear. How?
In the iconic, one of the many iconic photos that have come out of this is Trump on his knees below when he gets shot. The
Oh,
blood's
and
going
his
down
head is
and his head's down. The light is like shining through the legs and everyone that's around him. Like, that's weird synergy. What the heck?
Maybe it's the
creepy,
mushrooms we talked about last week. Who knows?
Dude, I don't know, bro.
I don't know. All I know is
simulation.
Bro,
all I know
know.
is Trump turned his
Pure
head,
luck. Don't know.
and the bullet
Good guess.
went through his ear instead of through his brain.
1.5 centimeters, maybe even
It's
one.
it's America. It's inches. Just do
Shush you.
1 inch. No,
Yeah,
no,
it's freedom
it's
units.
America.
What's a centimeter?
Wait, half an inch
This
then.
this
Okay,
didn't happen in
half an
Canada.
inch.
X-ray. This happened in America. All right.
Half an inch.
The chat's
There you
gonna
go.
talk about
That's right.
that. All right. So I'll continue the discussion a bit tomorrow on
I'm gonna talk about this on my show. I'm gonna go nuts. I have a lot to talk about. There's so much more that I have to say. So we're gonna talk about it. Yeah.
I can't wait.
And it's Flood's birthday, so we're gonna make him a lot.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Flood.
At this point, we'd like to bring in our special guest from the Megalithomania channel. He's been doing this stuff a long time. You've seen him on Ancient Aliens. You've seen him. God, you've seen him on. I'm gonna get the name wrong, Hugh. It's the Hunt. It was In Search of Giants, the show, the Giant Show. He'll tell me. No, that's not it. He's like, no, you're way off.
He's shaking his head.
Back there.
It was. I'm old, Hugh. I've watched the show like all the way through like 4 times too. Let's bring him in. Hugh Newman.
Yes.
Welcome.
You. Welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me. How you doing?
Well.
Thank
you.
We're glad to
Thank
have you on. We saw you at Cosmic Summit. I've seen you a bunch of places, man.
Yeah.
And you were fantastic. I just spent about 2 hours watching your channel, just going through everything from the last few months. Welcome to the show. It's an honor to have you on, man.
Yeah. An eventful day as well. It's all happening on for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little crazy, but so if you're not familiar with, like, two people in chat who are not familiar with Hugh, he comes from Megalithomania. He runs tours, he runs events. He has been at the forefront of a lot of this stuff. I was watching your videos. I've been watching your videos for years and years. Really kind of on the forefront of Göbekli Tepe as far as like going beyond Göbekli Tepe and getting to know people in Turkey and Karahantepe. And I'm going to mispronounce half of these names, Hugh, but he's been fantastic on this stuff. So if you have not subscribed to his channel, you need to do that. So I guess we can start. Do you have any new news for us, Hugh? Any interesting stuff?
What about these sites? They've just started excavating them this year, actually. But yeah, there's a lot of controversy going about. There's lots of questions about the narrative they're putting out about the meaning of the site, which I did actually a lecture about that at my Megalithomania conference. Jimmy Corsetti, he's been doing stuff. He's worked out that the WEF are involved, which is pretty freaky. And actually, this Dogos group, I actually kind of know them a bit because you have to get permissions to use their images and books and things like that. But they're like, so it's all happening. There's a whole load of stuff just coming up, which is a bit controversial, but more will be revealed soon, I'm sure.
Yeah, I hope it's good news too, because I know they were talking. You brought this up, or somebody brought this up briefly. My memory's terrible, Hugh. At Cosmic Summit, about they are talking about saying it. There's some question about the age of Göbekli Tepe now because of not being able to date the T pillars, and they're dating pretty much everything, the mortar that was around them. Yeah. Now, my fear is some archaeologists will use that as to make it younger, to try to make it younger and make some excuse, knowing what the establishment academics and archaeologists are like. Have you seen any of that? Because I would say it's an argument to make it older, but that's me.
Yeah, they're doing new research at the sites, I guess. I mean, the dates are pretty solid. I mean, they were done years ago. Yeah, this was Klaus Schmidt and the German Archaeological Institute. They're like proper. So they went right down to the bedrock, right at the bottom of the walls where there's a bit of mortar and all this kind of stuff. They found some stuff, but again, I think the walls are a later addition anyway. I mean, I think other people have said that. I think you guys are talking about that. So it's like, actually, he actually said to me and Andrew Collins when I was there with him a few years before he died, he said he believes they're going to find stuff that's 14,000 years old. He never published anything on it. They haven't done enough digging to kind of get to that level. But there are sites. There are Natufian sites like Israel and Syria, which are that old, and they've got fairly sophisticated technologies, building techniques, and things like that. Not to the level of Göbekli Tepe, but they had stuff at that age. There's a whole bunch of sites up next to the Tigris River, further to the east. Whereas all the sites down at Göbekli Tepe, Karahantepe, they're all down the Euphrates. But the northern sections of them, the southern parts, go into Iraq, to all the kind of Mesopotamian area where all the myths and everything come from. But yeah, so there's a lot to think about at these sites for sure.
So I know you've talked about it a lot, but tell us a little bit about Karahantepe, which was. I remember seeing your pictures of before it was excavated, sitting on that rock, sitting on that T pillar, right? And like they're popping out over the ground. I remember hearing about this for years, and there was nothing being done forever on it, and they're finally starting to excavate it, and it's crazy.
Yes, it's absolutely mental. I mean, I've been going there for since 2014, I think. Andrew's been going there 10 years before that, and it's been the same both times up until late 2018. It was just a whole hill clearly being covered over deliberately. All these just look like slabs, but all parallel slabs, but they were all kind of tops of T-pillars, deeply buried under the ground. So yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, that's it. That's kind of what it looks like now, since they removed all the rubble. And they've done it, and they're really going for it. I mean, look at this. This is like the pillar shrine, and you've got the main enclosure. it's crazy. I mean, they're carving out of bedrock as well. I think that's the most impressive thing. They're not just creating freestanding, statues and pillars and placing them. They're actually carving directly out of bedrock. And this is where what makes it really useful for me and JJ Ainsworth, who discovered this winter solstice thing there, because the bits that prove the winter solstice alignment and the way it works, that's it there, is they're carved out of bedrock. And so they're immovable. And so they become this permanent kind of, part of this greater clock that is built into the site. Now, more of it needs to be uncovered to find out more alignments and things like that. But I mean, that one is pretty compelling. And
it's amazing.
You got that kind of innovation. This is 9,400 BC. Yeah. So you got Göbekli Tepe, 9,600 BC or thereabouts. Although clearly both could be older. That's the light that hits on the head on the winter solstice. And so it's pretty. I mean, you just look at forever I've been into Stonehenge, Avebury, Brittany, things like they're just like what 3,000 BC maximum. You got stuff in Brittany which may be 4,000 BC.
Supposedly.
Yeah, but they've done, that's kind of, it's quite well known. Yeah, it might be a fraction older for sure, but it's like almost double the age of those sites. This is more sophisticated in many ways. That's what's baffling. It's like this 5,000 year gap, 6,000 year gap between these, the megaliths of Karahantepe, Göbekli Tepe, and Stonehenge, even the pyramids, the first dynasties and things like that. It's epic. And so it's a whole different, I mean, when they were building Stonehenge, this had been buried for over 5,000 years and was completely forgotten about. So it was 5,000 years it had been buried, and then 1,000. So it's like, what the hell? The perspective is kind of crazy when you look. You're looking at the deep antiquity and sophistication of these sites.
What do you think the connection between the other sites that are there? Because there's 28 other sites, or is it higher than that? The connection between the multiple sites, is there something there?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's they all follow the same design spec. They gradually change over 1,500 year period. There's it goes from 9,600 to about 8,000 BC in this area, and but they all have the same abstract imagery of the two central T pillars, which have got arms coming down the side, abstract kind of forms. These T's like a separate kind of top of a T with no face on it or anything, no evidence it's a head, but it must be a head because the arms come down the side. There's belts, there's things on the hands touching the navel, stuff like this, and all of them have that. They all have the same style. They often have V-necks as well, or sometimes double V-necks. That's a style that lasted 1,500 years. It's almost like Star Trek kind of vibe, So it's got this kind of continuous style, and it's very abstract. That they created it on day one, and they duplicated it for over 1,500 years, almost identical. So that is pretty weird. To just come in, boom, this is how everything's going to be now. For the next
fully formed.
Yeah, so it's that is strange. I mean, it's not just. I mean, then you get into the invisible stuff, like the geometry. But then you got to imagine. You mentioned there's 38 of these sites they're now saying exist. There's many more that are like satellite sites, probably 100 in total, and they are connected. We've found alignments between them, even astronomical alignments which connect up different sites to Göbekli Tepe, Karahantepe, and so forth. There's almost like a kind of geodetic triangles we're finding, linking them up. So they were using old forms of measurement, which similar to the, like the cubits, the different lengths of the foot, even the megalithic yard we've been finding and things like that, which shouldn't exist back then because they must have measured the earth before that. And so they were certainly experimenting with distances and alignments between sites. I think they were kind of working with the landscape like we find in Britain with the stone circles and everything else. So yeah, I think there's they were connected for sure.
Now you mentioned there's could be up to 100. What do you think the oldest site would be? I mean, you 1,500 years, but there's got to be sites that we don't know about that could be even older. I heard that there could be other sites that are underneath Göbekli Tepe, that are obviously older because they're buried underneath it.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean the Tigris River settlements, they're further to the east. They are older. They're like at least 1,000, sometimes 2,000 years older. So they are, and they were
Wow.
established. They were established hunter-gatherer groups who were building villages and constructions with roofs and pillars to hold it up, not T-pillars, but things like this. They were still hunting and gathering, but they were collecting things and they were staying and living in communities, next to rivers, and they had a very sophisticated way of living. They went, they'd enter their buildings through the roofs. They would bury their dead under the floor, sometimes with ochre. They would use something called terrazzo, which really came in the Taztepala era, which is the Göbekli Tepe Karahantepe era, which is a type of geopolymer plaster concrete type substance made from limestone, and so forth. And so that so they were inventing very high quality cement. And they had to heat it to 800 degrees or something crazy like this, 850, just to create the burnt lime to create the terrazzo plaster floors, which is hardened like concrete, like cement. It's pretty tough stuff. And they found it everywhere. So they made these massive innovations, even back, possibly they think they're now, so that's before this time. So, but as for the oldest stuff, I think you're looking at what Klaus Schmidt said. I think you're looking at like 14,000 years old. But then the Natufians are that old. We know that. We know they're around then. And you've got cultures who were creating this beautiful artwork in the south of France and Germany, going back up to 40,000 years. Not like Göbekli Tepe, though. That's where it suddenly kind of reaches a level. But there is a progress. You can see the progress development up to Göbekli Tepe as well, going back at least a couple of thousand years beforehand.
That's cool.
And that's the important one, is something that it just didn't pop up, but it still feels like it is to go to some of Graham's stuff and yours, that this might be a knowledge that has been passed down. And it pushes everything back. Was that if I get this wrong, forgive me, but was and there's the structures that had the water going in underneath that they had carved out that would cool the rooms, and they had like air conditioning. Yeah. Freaking air. That's crazy. I mean, it seems like a simple thing, but they knew this. They had air conditioning,
engineering,
right?
man,
and engineering, and this is before a wheel. This is before math. And all that.
Supposedly.
This is the site called Navali Chori. This is one of the first discovered sites back in the 1980s. And that was just north of the Göbekli Tepe area, next to the Euphrates River, or a little tributary of it. This dates back to 8,300 BC, so it's like 1,200 years or so younger, but still when this culture was flourishing in the Göbekli Tepe. So, but even there they had terrazzo, they had the two pillars in the middle, even though this time they had a square enclosure, very specific measurements as well, which is something we're finding there a lot. And so they built like these houses. Basically, they were like 16 feet tall. Some of them, they were huge. They were quite large, kind of rectangular, long constructions with this terrazzo, with stone, with wood. Homes you could live in. And then they would cut, these channels would be carved out of the bedrock underneath the home, when the stream would come through, and you could control it with little sluice gates, and
cool.
Very cold water, which collects in the stream, stays cold. I think it's in the shade, or it's out of the way. You can, open up these and allow cold water to come in, and it cools down the air inside the construction. This is what they realized. So it's literally, air conditioning 8,300 BC.
That probably works better than our modern air conditioning, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, the innovations over there are crazy when you start looking into it. I mean, I could go on about this a little bit, but it's just with the fact they're inventing concrete, a lot of sort of plasters like cement, geopolymer, really. They're the first proper high quality 3D relief carvings with abstract images. They're astronomically aligning everything very precisely with knowledge which came a long time before what it looks like. The symbolism's highly advanced. There's evidence they were trying to create a language and things like this long before the Sumerians. There's Luwian script in some of it. That's the Navali Chori house. Yeah, that's
sluice gates.
Yeah, pretty cool. And yes, there's all sorts, man. I mean, Navali Chori, there's quite a few things just at that site, which seems to be a lot of innovation taking place.
Yeah, you
Now
know,
you-
and carving in relief and abstract are not just things you wake up and invent one day. Yeah, it has to lead to it a little bit. You know, that's pretty
Yeah.
sophisticated.
Well, you mentioned geopolymer, and you know, I do know Marcel Foti. I don't know how to pronounce his name. He's this guy on Twitter who I think he's Spanish, but he's been doing all this work on trying to create stone from wood ash, and he thinks that that's actually what a lot of these people have been doing, and that's how they built a lot of the hundreds of tons stone. They just built it out of geopolymer, and
Yeah.
I follow it because I think it's really interesting. And you mentioned it just now, because so on the Euphrates or the Tigris, I believe you said, right? So
Yeah.
they created a geopolymer. So were these relief carvings, or I guess were they carvings, or were they maybe just geopolymer? Like, were they built? You know? What do you think
Yeah,
of
I
that?
think that's a good question. I mean, they found, like, number one, they found the quarries, and they've
Okay.
got half carved out T-pillars, so they know they were carving them. They, you know, but there's actually quite a lot. They've now discovered, like, possibly, and this is at Karahantepe and possibly another site called Sayburge, and maybe one other, that they were like cover thing. But at Göbekli Tepe, they covered the stone walls with like a plaster, like this a smooth type of this terrazzo, and so they were doing that. So, and they may have been, you know, shaping things into that as it was cooling and things like that. But there are layers of that, not just on the floor, sometimes on walls, possibly on some pillars. Generally, they were carving. We know they were carving with stone. You know, they were because they were carving out of solid bedrock.
Yeah.
But it's a bit of both. I think it's a bit of both. Like, they mix it up. I think there's like sections of floor and some of the enclosures that are like carved from bedrock, but then there's like terrazzo kind of layer fill, almost. You know, fill up areas, or they would create holes and fill those areas. You know, things like this. So there's they were mixing it up. Yeah, for sure.
With
That
no
stone,
no
Garrett,
measurements. They were doing everything by eye too. That's pretty incredible.
Yeah, I mean,
Garrett,
I think they were really good designers and like
Yeah.
and geometers. I think they understood geometry, and
Yes.
yeah.
you can see that a lot at the sites now. Quite sophisticated geometry as well. They were working with Pythagorean triangles and things like this. They understood whole number mathematics. They were orienting accurately. They were
Astrology.
experimenting, you know, that with stone circle designs and geometries, which ended up in British stone circles. Weirdly, you know, it seems this is the legacy of that. And so, and they may have made a great effort to survey the land and possibly try and work out the size and shape of the planet, because it all makes sense, because they have measurements there, which, you know, I've personally worked on this quite intensely. I'm very interested in ancient metrology because it gives real clues as to the mindset of these people and everything else. And they're there. Everything fits. It's all there, but it was clearly there first before it was at Stonehenge, before it was at the pyramids. You know, you get it in Karnak in Brittany, which goes back to 6,000 BC in some cases, maybe 7,000 BC even, but not, you know, you do get it clearly at Göbekli Tepe and the sites in southeast Turkey.
Yeah.
Speaking of, go back to that image real quick.
Yeah,
Image
that's
you
what. Yeah, that's
made.
one of the. Yeah.
Who's controlling the video?
That's me.
Okay. Yeah. Go back to this is speaking of like there being a possible, probably likely connection with ancient civilizations.
Yeah.
That T pillar has the arms going down the side, just like you see there. And your book's great, by the way. Everybody should go get it. If Garrett could, there we go. That's a boy. You did it.
I found it.
You found it.
It's in this book right here.
This is crazy. We've talked about this before, but like, please refresh our audience with your expertise on this, because this is insane. This is absolutely insane. The similarities we have with all of these statues and images and iconography, I guess would be the term for it.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, I mean, if you start with just the kind of same design, same look, yeah, you get that in Peru, all over Peru. You know, the Chulpa sites around Lake Titicaca especially, but also on the Inca, possibly pre-Inca walls of Cusco. Places like this, you get a lot of serpents, different animals carved in 3D relief. Not so much at Sacsayhuaman, the bigger sites, but more so at probable Inca sites. And and you get it. But the Chilpa Towers are earlier than the Inca. They're from the Koya culture, and they're the late Titicaca people. And I made a connection with Kutimbo, especially, and Silastani. And even Graham Hancock, we had a long discussion about who spotted those first, and they ended up putting them in his book. But everyone can make comparisons if they've been to sites. It's not, but they're there and they're bizarre. It's kind of bizarre. Even at Sulawesi, that's on the right hand side there in Indonesia. These beautiful statues again with 3D reliefs, high relief, low relief, same as Göbekli Tepe. It gets pretty weird. You get the Easter Island Moai, and some of the symbols are similar, and the list goes on. But I mean, there's also like very strong geodetic connections, like the distances and alignments between sites and things like that. We have that with Baalbek very much so as part of these triangle systems of surveyors, perfectly north, south, east, west. And you get distances. I mean, even like what is it, the Stonehenge? Right. One of the measurements you get a lot. There's 2 or 3 measurements you get at these sites a lot. One of them is the Persian foot. That's 1.05 English feet, basically. This is in old ancient Britain. It's called the long foot, and there's lots of different foot lengths that were all used. Sometimes multiple foot lengths were used in one site. So this is the nature of the metrology, the study of ancient metrology. Now, there's not just one length. You're not looking for a standard anymore. You're looking at lots of different lengths that are all fractionally different to one another. It brings different qualities into the sites and things like this. And but the Persian foot is one that comes out a lot. And that's been found in Britain a lot as well. But if you actually draw a line between the middle of Göbekli Tepe and Enclosure D to the middle of Stonehenge, it's exactly 1 million Persian feet.
Oh, wow.
Which is like utterly bizarre.
It's pretty exact.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's because the Persian foot as well, 5,000 Persian foot is 1 English mile, whereas I think it's 5,240 English feet, which is wrong basically. So, but perfectly mile is based on the Persian foot. So the Persian foot is
Hugh. Careful.
Yeah. Numbers at this time of night. Yeah, this is not gonna go well. But
good.
But this is but you do get that though. But this important measurement, you found all these different sites around the world, and they link up between sites as well. It gets really bizarre. I mean, we're going to go well into it in our next publication. Me and JJ.
Any teases on when that might come out?
Yeah. After, well, we're going to do it first, so we're hoping. No idea.
No idea. That's good. That's fine.
It's going to be probably like early next year or something like that. Maybe middle of next year. We don't rush these things. We just want to get it all present and correct.
Get it right. Absolutely. Get it right. So the crazy one. There's the similarities with the arms, and everybody's like either going towards a belt buckle or a big raging boner, but there's also the similarities in the faces that you see in cave paintings too, where it's got that arched brow and the nose and the dotted eyes, and you see that over here in America. So that's bizarre too. I have no explanation for it. But
the handbags, in the position of how they display the handbag too, is an interesting connection.
Yeah, you get a lot of these handbags. Everyone's talking about the handbags everywhere, but there's supposedly 3 at the top of Pillar 43, but it's kind of been pretty much. We don't think they're handbags anymore, but you get them all over the world, different cultures.
What do you think they are?
No idea. Possibly carrying sacraments, if you want to call them that, special medicines, which would be traded and welcomed, things like that. But there's lots of different ideas. I mean, the ones at Göbekli Tepe, when no one's holding, which is on top of the pillar. There's quite a few different theories now, but it's like whether they could represent sunrise or they could represent enclosures and things like this. But it gets weirder the more you get into it. But trust me, the symbolism coming out of these sites is something that JJ Ainsworth, my partner, specializes in, and she has cracked some amazing stuff already. And realizing how deep their knowledge goes, it's like this is something that fascinates me is like these are like a memory space. These are like where great thousands of years of wisdom and knowledge and important information is displayed here, but it has to be orally kind of explained by someone who's part of the tradition, part of the lineage, and then it comes alive and you kind of understand what's going on. This can include astronomical stuff that's happened, is happening now, and going to happen, and they carve it into the stones and things like this. So yeah, it's pretty remarkable. Yeah.
So let's I want to talk about the last couple of videos of yours. Let's go to India really quick, because this one was cool. I don't know how far back you actually shot this, but it came out a couple weeks ago. And I got to look at the name. It's Maliabad Fort in India. And it's pretty crazy. And India's like probably, it's crazy that it's one of the biggest mysteries out there with so many people in it, but it feels like there's so much unexplored to the west. This is the first time I've heard of this place. So, this is called
Maliabad Fort. This is in the Karnataka region. This is it's like north. It's like a few hours north of Hampi, which is like central India. It's pretty much the dead center of India. And this is a gigantic, 5-kilometer long polygonal cyclopean wall, said to have been created, they say, by some king in the 13th century AD. But this is clearly, this no one really thinks that now. It's just no research has been really done on it with the dating. Just these other people come in to these blank kind of forgotten buildings and put their mark on it. Suddenly it's a 13th century king's site. But there's it's beautiful masonry. It's granite as well, which is pretty tough to work with. I think it's granite, and there's granite elephants inside there, that life-size, perfectly carved granite elephants. All this decoration on them. They're still there. They're so big, no one could steal them. And there's and it's just weird. It's in the middle of nowhere. I mean, I just went there on my own. Just got a local driver to help me out, and I just wanted to check it out. I mean, I heard about it. I saw like 2 or 3 photos of it like a few years ago, and I said, I've got to go there.
Yeah. No, it's great that we're still finding these places, and if it wasn't for you guys, nobody would know about it. Nobody would. And this is, like, we don't know how old it is, but it's just forgotten in the middle of India, and this should be studied by and thank God we have you guys going out there. You're funded by your tours and your YouTube videos, which is awesome. That means you're on your own. And I mean, it's also scary, but it's better. No strings attached. And and as you show in the video, like the construction gets a little more sophisticated. There's some pretty crazy, it's not like Sacsayhuaman or anything like that, but I mean, it's still pretty good. It's very megalithic. Megalithic.
Do they know where the granite came from? What quarry?
No, there is a mountain nearby. So they were taking it from a nearby mountain. Yeah, there's like a mountain that kind of is at the back of the site. It's kind of this granite. There's all these. I mean, I haven't done part 2 of this video yet. There's all these huge balanced granite boulders, like 100, 200-ton boulders, all balanced on a point. Several of them around one area. There's all these cut marks, these ancient cut marks, which you find at Göbekli Tepe, weirdly, at the site, and things like this. It's super ancient origins there, and it's probably a revered sacred site. And they built this kind of what they think is a fortress, but more likely it's a kind of just a massive kind of temple space or something. We don't know. But you just don't go to this much beauty and precision. 5.5 kilometers, I think. That's how crazy it is.
Yes. 5.5 kilometers. Well, I don't know.
And really in the middle of nowhere. Like,
he's pretty much in the middle of that. There's not much else there. I mean, there's a small town I stayed in, but
that's like 3 miles.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, 3.5 miles.
I actually know what it is.
And so so I mean, it's pretty epic. I mean, and there are a few more sites like this in India as well. I even found some cart ruts in India, which really surprised me.
Oh yeah, you did.
What?
Yeah,
you did. I watched that video.
And they're in basalt. They're like hard volcanic rock. Yes, it's just in here you have this is one of the entrances. It's here you have the giant, the kind of life size. Well, they're kind of small life size, like baby elephants. Then you get like a little Ganesh figure here, like carved out of the in relief. So that's pretty impressive. They kind of broken it off. Obviously, the invaders, whoever they may have been.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, I met up with Praveen Mohan when I was out there. He was at the Cosmic Summit as well, and he's I think not this site, but I went to a couple of other sites with him. But he's the man in India doing the obscure site research. I mean, I spotted a couple. I think he knew about them, but yeah, just had to go to them. Certain ones, you just kind of get the bug, get the Megalithomania.
Have
bug.
You there's a documentary that just came out. Ben shared it on Uncharted X. Am I
Barabar.
going to say it right? Barabar.
Barabar. Yeah, I went there. I went to Barabar Caves. Yeah, I spent a day there. They were amazing. I mean, they're not as big as some of the other ones I visited, but the precision and like the polish and the acoustics, man, freaky as hell. Honestly, I thought I was being chased by a ghost in one of them. And it was just my voice. I mean, maybe it was a ghost, but it was just my voice echoing. It took so long to echo.
Oh, no way.
And it would distort it slightly. And it kept happening. And I was like,
eerie.
I want to get out. I thought there's someone in there. I was showing him the corpse. I was like, God, I'm freaking out, man. Just on the acoustics, and so they're granite as well. I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, it's hard to find actually. Some of them are in obscure areas of the gigantic rocky outcrop mountain. You got to go and look for them in. So you have to kind of get someone to show you. Usually, children who want lots of money harass you until you give them money, kind of thing. But that's cool. You know, at least you find places and. Yes, that is a super cool place. I mean, the precision there. I mean, obviously that documentary that was made by those the French production company, superb. I mean, the geometry, the precision, the acoustics, the measurements as well. These are all weirdly similar to what we're finding at Göbekli Tepe now as well. All earth measures, and so this is like again high level evidence of very high level of sophistication of these people building these sites that shouldn't really be able to do it back then.
No. And again, thank you. You know, I don't want to diss every archaeologist, but the independent guy, I'm always going to be on the independent guy side, by the way, and gals. But going out there and taking a look at it differently is that this is why this field is so exciting right now. Of all the alternative news and alternative anything, the stuff where we're getting the most like legit information is from ancient civilizations and megaliths, and the most exciting stuff is coming from there because we have so many people now looking into it that are legit, you know, and I'm glad you guys have been sticking it out. Obviously it's a passion, right? And we need crazy people like you and Randall and Graham out to be obsessed with this stuff because it's the world's greatest mystery. Our history has been it's been a lie. Our history's been a lie. That's my opinion. And the truth about it can forge how we move forward. You know, you were talking about the polymer that they made. There's terra preta. So obviously they were advanced enough to work with what they had that didn't really destroy the earth, right? To eat, you know, and make structures and like we don't know how to do terra preta. We don't know how to do that today. And that's, you know, we think it's Graham said it's like a biochar, right? But the fact that they have a reusable soil is an advancement we have not been able to figure out or haven't bothered to figure out. That can be a conspiracy for another day. But this is brilliant what you guys do, you know, and the fact that you can run these when was your last conference? I want to go to one day.
We did the Megalithomania in early May in Glastonbury. It's like a big 2-day conference. Yeah, and kind of we get all the we do that. We've been doing this since 2006, but we do this thing that a lot of people are doing now, which is getting archaeologists and academics on the same stage as alternative
love that.
thinkers and authors. And we actually built the conference on that principle. We always invite academics and archaeologists and anthropologists, and some of them are just terrified because it's like, you know, it's in Glastonbury. It's like the Sedona extreme hippie town of England. So there's that to handle, and
Yeah.
then you got all the alternative heads as well. Who kind of, but now it's everyone kind of just realizes actually we're all in this together. Might as well just
Yeah,
get on with
is
it.
that
In some cases, yeah.
does it feel like that's kind of easing that pressure that it seems from the academia side that
Well,
it's
tell you what,
okay to talk to you guys?
I'm going to invite Flint Dibble to our next conference because I found out
Oh.
he's in Cardiff, Wales, which is only about 2 hours from here. So
Oh.
but he won't come clearly, and but
He's not going to show up.
But we get other top British, European archaeologists and academics who are kind of slightly open to it, and they kind of accept. They want to get their voice heard in the alternative world, so they come to the conference, and it's a nice thing. But and we keep it all very civil. It's very civil. We don't have any yelling and
Good.
stuff
I
like
love
that.
That's really good.
It's easy to do that on Twitter, but I guarantee if Flint Dibble tried to do that at Megalithomania, it wouldn't go down too well. But yeah, it's like, so you have to kind of, that's a good point. I'm going to invite him because he's so local. See what he says.
Let's see what happens. I want to be at that next one. I
want to know his response.
Possibility.
Yes.
he probably blocked me, but if he's
blocked
inside,
you,
no, he probably would though. But if he's inside if he's inside the conference venue, it's like we've got him then, so he'll have to do his lecture, and all will be well.
And present some facts.
Yeah, you'd think that he'd want more of an opportunity to combat what he thinks is an atrocity in the field.
I know. I get so. It's not just him. I mean, he's probably a great. He's probably an okay guy and everything. I've got nothing against him. But it's. But he's. They do get on there. They do get quite kind of nasty, really. And it's shocking actually.
I've seen it.
That brings out the nasty in the alternative people as well, and it just grow up. Get over it. Just focus on what you're doing, because at the end of the day, everyone's going to be buying Graham Hancock books and watching Ancient Apocalypse till the cows come home. So he's like, because it's entertaining, it's smart. He's not as crazy as they make out at all. I think he's super smart. He's one step ahead. This is why he's pushing so many buttons, because he's like way ahead. And I think you got to give him credit for that. I mean, he's not far from where I'm based in southwest England. So we do see him occasionally.
I got a question. So you've been to so many different sites. You go Megalithomania in Turkey and Egypt, India. What is a site that you are most personally excited to know more about and to explore more?
What ones I've been to, the one that most fascinates me is Karahantepe. This is the sister site of Megalithomania. This is where we've been visiting before it was even excavated. So that one is the one. That's one I'm writing about most. My good friend Andrew Collins, he's got a new book coming out about it as well. JJ Ainsworth, we've all been researching it, and just to see it kind of come out of the ground. And we know the family there, so we're kind of friendly. We kind of go there, have lunch there, and have things like that. Have been since the now guy who runs the site. He was a kid when we first went there, kind of thing. So it's kind of a cool vibe. But sites I haven't been to, that's a whole other thing. There's the Pacific fascinates me, the South Pacific, also Micronesia, like Nam Madol. I really want to go there, and Japan I want to go to. There's remarkable similarities, huge megalithic sites there as well, which people don't really talk about much. It's pretty epic.
Even in the city, like Osaka, has integrated in the city. People just don't realize they're walking past megalithic stones.
It's very similar, but even bigger than a Maliabad fort in India. Same kind of style, very neat and tidy, sort of slightly polygonal stonework. Huge as well.
Yeah, it is weird that Japan doesn't get talked about. Really accessible country, shouldn't be a problem. Maybe it just gets lost in it. I don't know. I like China.
I don't know.
Which has a lot of weird stuff. Accessible. I understand. Well, I would assume it's accessible.
I learned about. I looked into some of the things in Japan because they have these weird keyhole shaped. Some people think they're tombs. People don't really know what they are because they're not. You can't really go to them. from what I've heard. Like the Japanese government is like, no, you can't go here.
Yeah.
Uh,
There's the Kofun tombs. Yeah, they're huge, great things, big keyhole shapes and everything.
yeah, those things.
And they're giant. They're like massive long barrows. They're like giant megalithic chambers. You can walk inside the giant megaliths over the roof.
Have you seen inside of them?
I've not been there yet. That's one of my go-to places.
Yeah,
We're trying to go there later this year if we can.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is. No, I'm very aware. I've looked into a lot of stuff there, and yeah, and it's just again, it's like India. It's a really vast, well populated country, but people aren't really that interested, in super ancient. And to me, it blows blows our minds. Yeah, so it's up to us to kind of go and explore them, I guess.
Yeah, it's a bizarre thing. Maybe it's, I don't know, insular culture, or they just like, what does it matter? I mean, that could be the attitude. Well, yeah, I'm just trying to eat right now. I don't care what happened before. But you think I would see, I'm just going off the top of my head. I'd see Japan and in China like having reverence for the dead. Don't dig up anything where there's some dead bodies. I get that culturally, but
sure.
Holy crap!
Is this one of the sites?
Yeah,
I want to look up. This is what I found.
Yeah, that's one of them. That's one of the. I'm not sure what it's called, that one, but that's. But they don't always have big lakes around them. Obviously, that's inaccessible. But that is gigantic.
It's Kofun.
It's huge.
Kofun.
Some of them are accessible. They're just on land. You can just walk into them. Kind of left derelict, pretty much.
That's incredible.
There's so many of them, though. Once you start looking,
you
see
there's a bunch of
lot. There's a lot of them. Yeah, pretty cool.
Well,
what do you think of that site off of Japan, the one underwater? You think it's man-made or real, or natural?
I don't know. I've never been there, so I can.
Okay. Just pictures.
Yeah, I'm aware of it. I've been following it for years. It looks compelling, yeah, for sure. But geology does really odd stuff as well, which can confuse people. But it does seem like there's some kind of something going on there. It's a bit of adapting the bedrock maybe into something interesting thousands of years ago.
So I saw your last video, and which was in Turkey again, and you went and visited that site that people think is Noah's Ark. That's a trip. That they have a gift shop there, and they're like, it's a Noah's Ark gift shop.
This is like a
museum. Sorry, museum, but yeah,
it's like a research center. It's not serious. Okay, in 1987, they announced officially, the Turkish government, this is Noah's Ark. Okay, built a thing, press release, everything. So what can you say? And this is based upon Ron Wyatt. Now, we're kind of aware this is most likely a geological formation. We're not like dumb. We're aware that that's most likely what it is. But there's some anomalies there which are kind of interesting, which they say are being disproven. But there's like metal was found there. They found petrified wood. The length of it is exactly the same as the description of Noah's Ark in the Bible and things like this. So yeah. It's a weird one. We kind of have to sit on the fence as a megalithomania thing. We sit on the fence in some cases. We don't believe, outright. But we're, it blew my mind going here. I loved it, every minute of it. I was like, I was like, having a great. I've seen pictures of it in these old kind of unexplained magazines when I was a kid. Yeah, got to see this shit. It's like, well, so just going to it is just the joy of it, just to sort of go there yourself and experience that, and just to hang out around Mount Ararat. It's so bizarre. It's like biblical and all that, and so you just want to, to me, it's just go and check it out, pick up the vibes, work out yourself what's going on. But we leave it open. We like to leave things open. We don't want to kind of push one agenda, one idea that we believe is correct, unless it's clearly the case.
It's really weird. I tend to agree with you that it's just a geological structure, but like you, I'd want to go there. I can't wait to go to Turkey someday. There's so much there.
I think the weird thing is it's next to Mount Ararat, literally just in a valley next to Mount Ararat, which is like
where they said that
Yeah.
landed.
Could be. Yes.
Yeah.
Weird.
Kind of
Well, it's
weird.
really cool. You know, and then there's all these stones. They're called anchor stones that we haven't seen. We're going to see them this September when we go back there, and they're like these sort of megaliths. Some of them quite big with holes in the top, you know, carved it through at the top. So they believe they had ropes on them. They were anchor stones for like Noah's Ark. But actually, they're probably ancient Armenian gravestones linked with sites like Karahantepe in Armenia, things like that, because they had similar hold stones in the megalithic constructions like that's from Karahantepe, and but they kind of look like this. So yeah, so they're not really anchors, I don't think. I think this is that was pushing it a bit when they came up with that, but who knows? You know, stranger things have happened.
Yes, and it's
Yeah.
cool that you went there, you know, and that it's part of the gig. And you're
Yeah.
right. It's if you've been into this stuff for a long time, this is like one of the first things when I was a kid. I remember there was this structure, and then there was the pilot who thought he saw. No, this is the structure that, and it was in some old freaking book. It's like I can't remember who the author was, because the first Charles Berlitz, The Bermuda Triangle, was kind of like my gateway book, right? And there was also a TV show In Search Of that was on with Leonard Nimoy hosting it, and got in. So those two things were my gateway as a kid. But this is one of the earliest things I remember was, oh, they found Noah's Ark. And when I was a kid, I'm like, they found it. Obviously, it's obviously Noah's Ark. It's settled. But yeah, there's another one of the, that looks more like an Armenian.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
I think my gateway thing was in England there was a magazine called The Unexplained, and it was like proper. It was like, you know, proper, well produced. It was, you know, it went to all the news agents. You know, you get it, every news agent, every corner shop in the country, and it was massive. And you get 10 of them, and you get a free folder. You can put them in so you can keep them. But they had everything like this and in great detail, you know. So weirdly, some of the authors who wrote these articles became people I kind of knew and did other cool books as well, and came to our conference even. And so it's kind of like, and it's all awesome stuff like, you know, the Bigfoot, UFOs, crop circles, you know, everything else, the megaliths, Noah's Ark, spontaneous human combustion. That's the scary one.
That is the weird one. I remember that one too. Has anybody spontaneously combust lately? I don't think that has been in the news in a long time.
No.
I remember that one picture. It's bad.
Not spontaneously.
Of the feet, of just the feet below a chair, where a chair is slightly burned.
That haunted me since I saw it. You know, it's that one photo. Yeah, it's pretty rough. But the paranormal stuff. Yeah, I mean that's kind of what got me into a lot of this stuff personally. You know, and weirdly now where we live right near Stonehenge. We live in the kind of almost like a burial ground of Stonehenge, pretty much. We have
cool
stuff going on here. You know, we have like paranormal shit going on here frequently. You know, and so it's, you know, it becomes a bit real. You know, some sites I've visited, I've had very strange, quite really odd, clearly paranormal shit happening, which cannot be explained. Which again, I'm not looking for it. Kind of keep a level kind of head generally, and but yeah, stuff happens, and so you got to like you know, take that as part of reality, especially when you start studying the old stuff. I think the older stuff you get, you know, you kind of get into this realm of, they could have been doing magic, sort of black magic. There could have been some kind of spells and ancestral kind of karma all tied to these sites and things like that. So it can get pretty intense.
Yeah, I've never seen a UFO, Hugh, but I've had like a ghost paranormal experience, a couple of them that were like real, and I can't explain. And at the time, scared the shit out of me. But,
where was this? Where was
this? It was in California, so not as old as the UK. So I was in Encinitas, California.
Maybe.
Well, okay. Culturally, California is really fucking old. So I don't know. I was in the La Paloma Theater, which is still there. It's an old. It was built in the 1920s, and there is a dressing room below the stage. So there's a stage still there, but it's a movie theater, and it's got a stage. And then you go backstage. Backstage is under the stage where the costumes are. And we were doing Rocky Horror Picture Show at the time. And we heard somebody walk across. Now, it's always been said that the La Paloma has been haunted. It's like it goes back. A couple people have died in there. So we clearly heard somebody walk across the stage above us, and we thought it was one of our friends. We ran up there. Nobody there. Happens again. Ran up there. Nobody there. Happens a third time. And I work there. So I know all the nooks and crannies. I know where people could be hiding. I know and yes, I would have friends who would do that to me to mess with me, but they weren't there. They weren't there. So after the third time, we just got the hell out. We're like, peace out. We went to the Mexican restaurant across the street just till dawn. Because I lived in the place too. So it was creepy as hell. Creepy as hell.
One of the weirdest ones here in Britain, we have like the kind of fairy lore. We have like the elemental realm. We have, all these different elemental beings. Very strong, very high, very strong tradition in Ireland, some parts of Scotland and Wales, not so much in England anymore. But this is like there's traditions of stuff, of fairies moving stuff around, or sprites, or like all these different names given to the will-o'-the-wisps, strange lights, and things like that. And so we had this, so we realized something had happened like that to us like twice or three times maybe. One, I went in. I broke a cup, like smashed a cup in the kitchen, just down here, and put it down. I came back like 2 or 3 hours later, and the cup had been fully repaired. And we were like, "What the hell?" And it happened twice. That happened twice. The same thing. JJ happened to her as well. And then the weirdest one was I bought this.
That's pretty weird.
That was pretty weird. Yeah.
That's not the weirdest. And this is cool. So we had this kind of bag. It's like we've got it from Abydos. It had like the flower of life on it from Egypt. We just had a spare one. We kind of do our shopping in it. We had this chair, this wooden chair that had broken slats, had 3 slats going across the top. And the top one had sort of snapped in half. So one night JJ put this bag and on the chair, and it fell down to the second slat down because the first one kind of fell through it. And we came down in the morning, and the top slat had been perfectly repaired, like professionally. Couldn't even see the glue on it. It was perfectly repaired, but the bag was still on the second slat, so it got trapped inside the chair. And so we were like, "What the hell?" Number one, me and JJ.
You still have the chair?
No, I got rid of it, mate.
Get out of my house.
I got rid of it with the bag on it to the person's chair who lent me it. And they got it in their lockup, so it's safe, but we just didn't want it in the house. And like after we had it for a couple of hours, I'll give it back to him.
It's like the cobbler's elves.
Exactly.
I mean,
Iceland.
Exactly. So Iceland has it too.
It's the opposite. So sometimes they miss. Sometimes things go missing. We had a cup fly through a room, pick a corner, smash into a cupboard, and things like that at high speed.
Holy shit!
Like,
what?
That's poltergeist.
That's poltergeist stuff right there.
Yeah, so that's negative stuff as well. But then they'll kind of fix the cup, and like so, it's all okay. But yeah, it's like it's pretty weird. So and we've had stuff like this at sites as well. A couple of sites. One in Italy. We turned up at this site called Saturnia. And it's actually polygonal walls all over Italy. We went to look at all these different, 20 different sites. We wanted to look at these cities. The oldest city of Italy is called Saturnia. So it's got this kind of sort of esoteric name associated with it. Spooky as hell. It's up on this mountain. But down in the valley, there's all these burial tombs, the megalithic dolmens of Saturnia, of the giants who used to live there and things like this. And they're said to be, don't go there. It's kind of scary as hell. I went there once in 2008 and had a kind of weird experience when they were JJ in like 2018, and I sensed something half a mile before we got there. And I was driving. I was like, "Fuck, I feel something in my solar plexus. We've got to be careful here." And then we got there, and it was like I was like tingling. I was like, "We've got to like say like protection over us, psychic protection. We can't go in here. This is like." So JJ kind of laughed at me. Then we went in there, and just as we were just closing the boot, about to walk in, we turned around and looked at the site. And this 60-foot tree snapped in half and smashed down on a dolmen. And we were like, "What the fuck?" And that we were like, "No, that can't have just happened. Why did that happen just now when we just turned up and we just look at it with all these weird feelings we got?" So we kind of freak out a bit. We go inside anyway, looking at all the stuff, It was a fresh tree as well. It was bizarre, and I just felt something. I've got to get out of here. This isn't right. And then next thing I know, JJ screaming at the top of her voice and sprinting out because she kept hearing her name being said by some weird being. So I had to go in and get all her stuff, and then she screamed at me again. There's this stuff all happening. We got out of there. I'm quite keen to get back, but JJ's not. So, but shit like that. Some sites are kind of like open. They're like portals. They're like still got some ancient magic associated with them. So you got to be careful. And some people are even saying, like with Karahantepe and Göbekli Tepe, they may be buried for a reason. They weren't just like it may not be all love and light and like inspiration, innovation. There could be some darkness there as well. And so you got to be a little bit. So with the archaeologists, I mean, they're in the kind of in the thick of it, and. So there is, you got to consider things like that as well. I don't know. So yeah.
Well, that goes back. I mean, to King Tut's tomb. Like there's scientific reasons, and yeah, if anything's going to be haunted, it's going to be an ancient site. Okay.
Well, one of the things that happens here. One of the things we wrote a chapter about. Me and Jim Vieira in our Giants of Stonehenge, but so is the thunder. And so, if you're interested, I'll just mention this quickly. So we found all these accounts. There's these traditions of like, if you disturb a giant's tomb, start digging it or looting it or touching the skeleton or anything, there'd be great bad luck what would happen to you, or even death. But there's also a tradition where great tempests, thunder and lightning would occur as soon as you started digging into these sites. And so it's like a spell that affected the weather was placed over them. And so there was like these weather shaman giants kind of in ancient Britain who kind of had this sort of control. So, and we found all these accounts of that actually happening. People going to sites, try to dig it up, and great tempests, immediately, just that second, they put the kind of first spade in the ground, and we couldn't believe how many we found, and it kept happening. So we realized there's probably some scientific kind of understanding they had between the earth and the kind of weather systems or something, or they were high level shamans.
Amazing.
That is, and we can't discount it. Terra Preta, okay, that's weird stuff. Look it up. It's weird.
It does sound like Skinwalker Ranch stuff, like similar things.
I know Hugh probably watches Skinwalker Ranch. He goes, by the way, it's Search for Lost Giants, by the way. I got it. Okay. I watched it 4 times and I got the title wrong, but because I'm retarded. But no, you probably watch it. It's like, damn it, we could have had 5 seasons. It's my favorite subject, Hugh. It's the one I want to be true kind of the most. And not like giant 36-foot. That would be cool. But the giants that you guys are looking into are way more grounded. It's 7, 8, 9, 10 feet.
Did you see that tooth that I posted in Frontier Research?
Yes.
It's like twice the size of a human molar.
Yep.
And that's it.
It's hard to get. I mean, there's only so much information out on what Jim Vieira did. That's another one of those crazy guys who went down a rabbit hole and started looking up old articles and stuff. And like, I remember this stuff from before. Have you done anything lately on? I know you're really focused on Karahantepe, and it should be because it's freaking awesome. But any new giant stuff? You still following that stuff? Look at that! Holy.
Yeah, that's the Denisovan stuff. Yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah, Denisovan.
Yeah, that's pretty epic. And there's a lot more coming out about those. Just recently, they found more bones, evidence, and they're being quite large. That's Andrew Collins' real focus. He's really into the Denisovan stuff. But yeah, there's a few people that I know, kind of continue the giant research, and they're just uncovering more and more accounts. As more newspapers and even old academic journals get digitized and put online into these online libraries, you can actually find more and more and more, thousands of them now, just in North America. So we're not doing that right now. I mean, I think we keep an eye on stuff. People send us stuff, we archive it all. And yeah, we've had, I've come across, since our book came out many years ago in America anyway, probably 500 more accounts on top of the 1,500 we already had. But there could be more that we don't know about. but yeah, there's and also we keep getting people telling us they've got bones and teeth and things like this, but they can't really. They're not, it's all NAGPRA, it's all like protected in America, so it's pretty dodgy to go and even look at, handle these kind of things. But yeah, but there's a few things keep coming up. I think it's just one of those kind of epic mysteries that they're never going to, the truth that will never really fully come out because they want to keep it quiet for some reason, which is a bit absurd, but maybe that will change.
Yeah. And I think there might be some politics behind it. Like some Native American groups didn't want to give Graham permission. Not all, but didn't want to give Graham permission to do Ancient Apocalypse season 2, some stuff here. So Netflix, they were giving them a hard time. So Netflix just said, we're out. We can do something else. But
yeah, I think that's a bit silly, that all that kind of stuff. You just got, I mean, what are they thinking? I mean, like, do they think Graham Hancock's like the ultimate voice on all of this stuff? I mean, they got to understand this is one guy who's very intrepid, very smart, doing a TV show and some books. That's it. He's not like a kind of prime minister or president of a country. He's not like that powerful. You know what I mean? So why do they get so upset about him doing it? And to me, that it's just bizarre the level that's got to. And to prove a point, if you like kind of hit a nerve, it means there's some truth in it. There's always got to be some element of truth in it. Otherwise, why would people react to it so badly? Because it's like he's not like a politician. He's not like a kind of world leader. He's not. It's only just an author, a journalist, and a TV guy. So it's like, and it's amazing. So I love the fact that he just keeps hitting these nerves, and it creates more people interest in it about this kind of extreme, like the most dangerous show on Netflix. And you see that, you got to go and watch that. It's like the best advert you can get. So so it's actually making it more popular. And so it's like the kind of, you got to just accept that people have different views on things. Archaeology and academia can't have all the answers. You need multidisciplinary approaches. These can be from out there, from further afield, from the kind of the weird fringe sciences and all this kind of stuff. And you've got to take that on board. This is why it's what we do at Megalithomania. We bring all that in, because you have like geomancers or people who are masters of metrology, measurements, and geometry, can see things and decode things from sites that archaeologists can't, because they don't study geometry. They don't study mathematics and things like this. They don't study astronomy. And so even archaeoastronomy is getting sidelined currently. Even at Göbekli Tepe, they're just dismissing all the discoveries that have been made there by Andrew J. Martin Sweatman, and just dismissing them. And it's absurd, because this is that we know astronomy was used by the ancient peoples. There's like college courses about this, PhDs on it. It's not made up. And so they're kind of trying to, actually do anything they can to stop even that. And so that baffles me, because that's the one thing that you could all agree on, really. There's going to be astronomical alignments at sites. Something Graham focuses on as well and gets attacked about. Andrew gets attacked about it, and so on. I mean, when JJ and I discovered this winter solstice alignment, which illuminates this stone head, clearly for 45 minutes, for this tiny little hole, only at that extreme point of the year, and that morning for 45 minutes, and it works every year, has done for 10, since it was 11,000 years ago. Even that, they've dismissed that. They've actually, I think they banned my book already from Karahantepe. So I gave a copy to my friend Ishmael, who runs the site, and they go, we don't want that here. And there's a walkway they had there, like you can walk up so you can actually see that side of the head that gets illuminated, on the winter solstice. Yeah. And after we announced our discovery, put it all out there, they shortened the walkway so you can't see that side of the head. And it's like,
that is ridiculous.
That is insane.
It could be a coincidence. They claimed there was archaeology they were looking at. There's little things like that, and obscuring, very interesting things that need to be looked at from academics as well. We're not like, we don't, it's just a thing. It's a clear thing you can see with your own eyes. Even now, it works now. It worked 11,000 years ago, even better. Why dismiss that? It's because we're not academics when we discovered it, and this is the problem. This is the
they want to be the ones.
Yeah, they want to be the ones. I mean, I'll give it up to them. Hand it over. JJ and I will just. You can say you discovered it.
Yeah.
we just want to, it's just this we need. So we're now kind of restricted. There's restrictions. You can't go to certain parts of the site. Same at Göbekli Tepe, and it's a real bummer because I want to get inside Göbekli Tepe and inside Karahantepe and take readings, measure everything. Get a clear scan of it, measure every single thing so you can see what measurement systems they were using. Then you can kind of start working things out from that, what geometry they were using exactly, and different, so you can actually see the types of tools they were using. And they don't let you in. They will not let you in unless you make applications through the academic.
You're accredited or something.
Or you suck up to the archaeologists, which we don't do.
Right.
Which you don't do, who want the control. And yeah, there could be a vast conspiracy, sure, but I fully believe it's ego and hubris. That's
I think I would love for that to be the case, honestly, because that would make the most sense. But what
does make the most sense.
It makes the most sense. But also what Jimmy, like you mentioned Jimmy's research with the WEF and how they're kind of basically they I don't know if they own it per se because they work with the company that owns it, but there's clearly
what are they doing there?
Well, there's clearly a push to deny people whatever knowledge is there, right? Something this site has documented. They don't want people to understand it fully.
Yeah,
and that's what I want to know. I want to know what that secret is.
Well, this is what bugs me as well. Because there's a lot of the site you can't go and see, and I've actually tried to kind of find out why through the archaeologists and all that, and they claim no, everyone can see everything, but when you go there, you can't go anywhere. You can only go to certain areas. You can't go to this whole 2 other excavation areas which have been excavated for years. Can't go there. There's huge roofs over them, people working there. You're not allowed to go and look at them. You can't go in the Lion Pillar building, which is a bit of roof over and blocked only people working there. So you can't see lots of it. They claim you can, but you can't. And and they've also kind of really slowed down excavation there. They made a few new discoveries, really interesting though, mind you, but they've kind of slowed it down. And now it's like a conservation project more than anything for future generations and all this. And I kind of spoke to Jimmy Corsetti about this before he started researching who's paying all the money towards it. And they're a company called the Dogos Group, and they're the ones funded by the or part of the WEF. 15 million they put into Göbekli Tepe already. They do all the graphic design, like the official websites. They're behind the design of the roof, working with the archaeologists and things like this. Building the visitor center, making all the videos and creating all the T-shirts and all that kind of stuff.
Planting the apple trees.
And the ticketing system, and now it's really expensive to get in there. It's like 25 euros or something. It used to be like 2 euros, 5 euros, or nothing before that when I first started going there. Wow. So now they're kind of doing Stonehenge kind of prices. You've got to take a mini bus up there. They have all these official Göbekli Tepe mini buses. Tons of concrete's been laid.
I hate it.
It's pretty rough. I mean, and it's frustrating because we were going there when they were starting just to, a bunch of local workers were building the first wooden roof over it back in 2013. But Karahantepe, the good thing about that is that they're really going for it with the dig. They ain't holding back, and man, they're cracking into it. It's like they're on full speed alert. There's like a kind of deadline or something, and they're going for it. I think they're going to get the whole site covered at the rate
that's awesome.
Yeah, and so that is really cool, and they're starting on some other sites now, which are mind blowing. But I think Göbekli Tepe is the key. I think they've got to go into them. There's like 5 or 6 sort of stone circle enclosures they've kind of uncovered mostly, but there's at least 16 more, maybe 20 more. Some of them are bigger.
Just at Göbekli Tepe.
Bigger than
yeah, and some of them are bigger. Some of the enclosures are bigger. So it's like 20 Stonehenges on one hill. It's that kind of vibe. And there's
20,
38 of these sites.
It's amazing.
And they don't intend on excavating that much more now. At least there.
I think very slowly they will, but not at Göbekli Tepe. I think thankfully this Dogos group got nothing to do with all the other sites. They're all Turkish government stuff, university stuff, so that's cool. And
that's good.
There's going to be no interference, hopefully, and that's why I think Neshmi Corral, the head archaeologist at Karahantepe, I think he's realizing, man, we just got to get this done before they kind of start getting influenced. And so and there's always a lot of political stuff out there. I always get in trouble out there with the officials and military, even and the government sometimes, accidentally, of course, and
Of course.
purely innocently, just going into looking at artifacts that people have got, or go hunting for unexcavated sites and finding things there, stuff like that.
Like under that family's home.
You just do a lot of
Yeah.
wandering, and
That
you just
pillar you
wander
found?
across stuff. Yeah.
It's a site called Saybirch. Yeah. So what they're doing there, this is one of the key sites actually. It's just slightly west of Shanlarf or Göbekli Tepe, and that is 11,000 years old, so 9,000 BC at least. And they've got this beautiful like rock cut out of bedrock. This enclosure, this big elliptical enclosure, half of it's uncut, been preserved under this house, and they kept it as a storeroom. I didn't tell anyone about it for like 100 years.
So cool.
That's awesome.
And so this was known about and witnessed and seen by people before, 60 years before anything was known about Göbekli Tepe, back in the early. It's like, what? So things could have been different if just this family had said, oh, by the way, check this out. So there's that, and then they've uncovered this whole area next to it and found an entire multi megalithic stone circle enclosures there. So it's all happening, man. So you go out there now. We go out there twice a year to do our tours, but we stay on and we time the tour so we can stay on when they're excavating, go and check it all out. And we go back on the winter solstice sometimes as well to try and look at that. And so this is like the time of discovery. This is where it's all happening. I remember this is biblical. This stuff. This is like kind of legendary areas of excavation from ancient texts. Suddenly, some of these ancient texts start to make sense. Because they're talking about this forgotten. I mean, basically, the area around Göbekli Tepe, Karahantepe, all these sites got kind of covered over, forgotten about pretty quickly within 1,500 to 2,000 years of their construction, and then cultures came through that whole area. Because this is based in Shanlarf or ancient Edessa. Cultures like after culture, like Hittites, the the Assyrians, the Hatti people, you had Macedonians, the Romans, the medieval people, the Turks coming through, the Kurdish people, and so on. And yet none of them knew anything about these sites because they'd all been built over and forgotten about. And so it's bizarre when you think about that. And then it's only now it's coming out of the ground. So there's like 10,000 years of just people not knowing. Utterly bizarre. So when you consider that is where it gets really weird, when you start rereading all the ancient texts and seeing clues seem to refer to them,
referring to a before time or some sort of golden age, and we're starting to see remnants of it. I think it's amazing. I really love it. I love seeing mythology come to life. When I first heard about Göbekli Tepe, it blew my, like, for one, I'm like, nah, they're gonna figure out it's younger. No way is it that old, because that would be too good to be true. And it turned out to be that old and did change everything. And it brought a huge resurgence into this field, Hugh. Like it's never gone away, but now you guys are turning into rock stars, and I think it's cool. I think you should be the new rock stars. I think this is the most exciting and most rebellious, like, narrative breaking stuff out there that has some weight to it, some real stuff, instead of just, oh, well, this UFO disclosures are just around the corner, stuff like that. We have something we can touch and look at,
I agree. Yeah. And it's just, the fact is, we're in that kind of moment of time. Like, imagine when they were first Europeans were going into the jungles of Central America and Mexico and discovering giant pyramids and things like this, or going over and discovering Cusco and Sacsayhuaman, or even like the 1700s or whatever, going into Egypt, and underneath the sands, there's all these kind of remarkable constructions. It's like that now, but in southeast Turkey, it's the time of discovery. It's going to be the next 10 years are going to blow people away. I think I got a feeling they found stuff, which is, and which is a bit too much. And so, even what they found.
What would that mean? What does that mean? What do you mean by that?
I don't know. I think they might have found, like proof of who these people were. Maybe some
Like a UFO.
Skeletons. I think there's skeletons, and the DNA is like might be freaking them out. There might be real Anunnaki, Nephilim types, and all that kind of stuff. But who knows?
Elongated skulls.
Well,
we know that they're in that area.
There's something that's across mountains, like they go back to 8,000 years ago. Very elongated skulls, for instance. That's only a few hundred miles away. The Bible lands. I mean, the Euphrates and the Tigris connect all the way down into Iraq, into the old Mesopotamia. So it's all connected. They were all working together, but it goes just much, much further back. I mean, I'm not going to go into like the Zechariah Sitchin version of history or anything like that. Sure. But a lot of people, think there's going to be stuff like that going to be proved.
I think the term would be disruptive to their narrative.
There it is.
And like they found stuff like that in the past, and there's been books written, and they just kind of throw it off. It's an anomaly. We'll explain it later. It's too weird. It doesn't fit what we've come up with.
Anomalies. Yeah, this is it. Yeah, and I think one of the issues I've got as well is that this is something that I did in my lecture at Megalithomania. Then Jimmy did a similar kind of thing, where there seems to be a narrative being created about these sites in southeast Turkey. Wikipedia, through what the head archaeologist is saying, all funded by Dogos Group, WEF, and everything, and they're trying to make out the previous excavator there, the Klaus Schmidt, who died in 2014, who he was a little bit interesting. I mean, he basically wrote an amazing book, which you can't really get it anymore. But there's an English version. I got a copy, and he's talking about, this is clearly what the Sumerians were talking about, and the Anunnaki talking about the Book of Enoch. He's like, whoa, hang on a sec. Cool. And he was a top archaeologist. He said this is clearly connected, and like there's no doubt about it. But he was a proper German archaeologist, old school, fact, 100%. But he speculated a bit as well, when he got down and wrote books. But everything he's kind of said, he believed it was a temple. This was a multiple temple space. People didn't really live there. They didn't have roofs. It was an open air sanctuary to observe the stars, things like this. But now they're saying, the new archaeologists coming and saying the exact opposite and trying to discredit him and make a fool out of him almost, which is really out of order, because he was the main guy there. And like trying to make out he's got it all wrong. No, there's no roof. There were roofs. There was no astronomy because they had roofs. No evidence of roofs has actually been found. That's the problem, even though they're pushing that as a fact. Things like this. And then they also say they're not temples, they're just community spaces. And they're not. You go in the reconstruction of Enclosure D in the Shanlofer Museum, full size, fully reconstructed. That's a temple.
That's a lot of work. Yeah,
you know it. You can feel it. Just being in there. This isn't a place. You don't build something as grand as this,
right?
To store wheat or to hang out in.
Just get some wooden benches and a couple of tables. You know what I mean? You don't have to have 18-foot carved anthropomorphic pillars with stunning iconography carved. It's all like towering above you. Everything is. It's 18. It's like the height of Stonehenge. It's insane. And so, and yet they go, no, they must have had roofs on it, but you can't see anything. And so there's a narrative which is being pushed. And I made a big deal out about that in my life. I did a lot of research into it and why this is happening. Now, academics are now going against these archaeologists, what they're saying, because that doesn't make it. Even Graham Hancock's questioning some of the stuff that's coming out. And we're wondering why they're forcing this narrative. And it just seems they want to make it mundane. That's the problem. They want to make everything with this area mundane and dull and practical and like simple. So as soon as you come up with a winter solstice alignment, the earliest found anywhere on the planet, Karahantepe, oh no, they had a roof. Forget it. Doesn't work.
I heard you mention that. And is there any proof at all that there was a roof? Like
no, there's no actual proof. No, I mean, but there's good. I mean, I believe there may have been roofs on some of the structures, the smaller ones. Sure. Yeah, for sure. Maybe some of the big ones had them later. I'm not dismissing it, but having been there I used to study architecture, for instance, like before I did all this for a year or two. And we have engineers and architects coming on our tours, and they look at that and they go, no way. The T-pillars, everyone says, oh, because they're T-shaped, that's what they use for supports. Yeah, that's what they use now for support. But no, it's not. It's not quite the same. These are really thin T-pit, really a few inches wide. So they need to be much thicker and much wider on the top to support. And also the base is so thin.
It's
It
thin.
won't support anything. And like it's almost balanced in there. So it'd have to be a really thick base for it to like be a supportive element of a structure. And there's been academics now who've disproved the roof thing quite thoroughly, and because it'd be just too heavy as well, and it wouldn't support it. It's a bad design to make a roof over it. It doesn't work basically. And so, but there could have been temporary roofs. There could have been structures there. We're not dismissing that, but they're saying everything was covered, so you couldn't see any of the night sky. And that doesn't make any sense. I actually had a guy I was working with called Kevin Esslinger, as a 3D graphic artist, and he put the whole of Karahantepe through drone footage and some stuff I sent and some scans I got into this whole program so we could rebuild the site. He rebuilt the whole night sky in 9000 BC. Found the winter solstice alignment works really well, even with everything reconstructed. He put a roof on it, what he thought the roof would be, and he found that even with the roof, if there was just openings between different bits of wood that held up the roof, how it would all fit together, there would be a gap, perfect size gap for the winter solstice to come through anyway. So even with a roof, some of these alignments would work, because you have to have gaps in them. You can't just have a black room where you can't see anything. You have to have gaps so light can come in and get airflow and things like this. And so so there's a lot of debate, so there's a lot of analysis and a lot of debate which is put forward as fact, but it makes it mundane, and there's clearly much more to it than just what we're being told. But Wikipedia is where it's at. That's where you can see the problem.
Always
because
is.
they're controlled by the academics. It's not. They won't have the winter solstice alignment on there. They won't have independent discoveries on there. They'll just call it fringe science or pseudo archaeology. And so you're never going to get it. You're never going to get the good stuff on Wikipedia. And I thought a lot of people are now cottoning onto that and realizing it's not reliable anymore, because it's literally edited and created by the people who hate the alternative researchers.
Not like outright skeptics, and you could be skeptical, but if you're rolling out of the rack going, nope, it's not possible. George Knapp, reporter from Las Vegas, who's he's done a lot of UFO stuff. He has a great video. You could probably find it on Instagram or TikTok. I don't go to TikTok, where he breaks down the editors of Wikipedia and how corrupt they are, and it's a group of skeptics run by skeptics. For everything, by the way, who come from a certain political side, and George Knapp comes from that political side, so and he still calls it out. So find that video; it's great. Yeah, Wikipedia's full of crap. But
one of the co-founders of Wikipedia has been doing his rounds, trying to tell people how much it's been taken over.
Yep,
like he's the one who helped co-found it. I don't remember the guy's name.
There's a lot of that happening. People that started companies like Facebook, like Twitter, like Wikipedia, that are now saying how these platforms are being manipulated and used.
Yeah, but Jack's full of shit. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say,
now that you've left,
after they got their money and bought their island, it's safe for them to
That's what I'm saying. Like they now leave and go, oh, well, this is getting manipulated. The algorithms are getting manipulated. It's like, well,
they fully knew.
You set it up.
They knew.
But you know what helped this field too? I mean, obviously, Joe Rogan and Randall and Joe, but you've been grinding, Hugh. You've been doing this for a long time, and I know the algorithm wasn't friendly to you for a while, especially during COVID. But it seems like it's better now. For one, I'm finding I had to go search for your videos back during that time. Now it's popping up on my feed and I can see it every time it comes up. So it feels like they're being better to you now. Probably because it's getting more attention too. Are you feeling that way? Is the channel doing pretty good?
Yeah, it's doing okay. Yeah. I'm not really a kind of good at the promotion side of getting stuff out there. I do it as best I can, but I'm more interested in exploring and just creating content and writing. Really, are my primary things.
Well, you're doing a bang up job for it being just a little side hustle. I love the channel. Do you have any tours coming up?
Yeah, we're going. back to Turkey in September, mid-September. We're doing with Andrew and JJ. We're doing a Eastern Turkey tour. So we get down. We do Istanbul, and we get straight down to Şanlıurfa, where all the sites are. Tastebla region. Then we head east. We go to the Noah's Ark. Clearly an ancient boat, and also Mount Ararat and all the stuff down Lake Van area. There's a whole bunch of kind of Sumerian type sites in that region. So yeah, we're doing all that. Yeah, and then we do the other places we go is Egypt. We do in November. We do Malta and Gozo in March, and the British Isles kind of area in the summers really. And then in May we do the conference, and also we go back to Turkey again. So we keep
Malta.
pretty busy. But yeah, Malta's great. Yeah, I mean, so these are all kind of fairly local to me. We are going to be going back to Peru at some point as well, late next year. I know some of you guys are going there kind of soon, and so that is a cool place. Obviously, I've been there many times, many years ago. It kind of blew my mind every time I went there, pretty much.
And where can you have a website that people can find these tours and the information?
Sure. Yeah, it's just Megalithomania basically. .co.uk is the main website, but it's Hugh Newman on YouTube, social media, Megalithomania. You'll find us all. Yeah, there you go. You can find us all over pretty much everywhere. We make lots of. I'm a trained kind of editor and kind of. Can use cameras and stuff, so I can make videos quite easily, and graphic design and all that. So we kind of just enjoy. I mean, obviously our main thing is like trying to write books, but we have to kind of fund ourselves. So we also we want to explore. We kind of get itchy feet. We have to keep exploring.
But they are great books, though. I really
and the
enjoy
graphic
these.
design on them. Top
Yeah,
notch,
we do a lot of artwork.
So cool.
Yeah, we do a lot of hand illustration, pencil and pen. That's our kind of favored. We're doing some today because we're actually doing the American version is coming out next month.
Oh,
We're doing an update already, and it came out less than a year ago, with all the new discoveries. So we've got to be updating it like every year, I think, at this rate. So actually, I've got a couple here. I can just show you them. Latest illustrations.
Sneak preview.
This is the vulture statue. This is the vulture statue we've got discovered at Karahantepe. What else have we got? Oh yeah, this is the giant statue. The 7'6" one is holding his part. It's got a cool haircut. So and there's a few others we're working on as well.
According to archaeologists who discovered that statue, by the way, this is brand new information. That's the world's first erection. They've never had an erection before that. Yeah. So
very first one.
According to academic.
That is actually, you're probably right. Actually, you're factually probably correct. Weirdly, but there are some. Look, there's quite a lot of phallic symbolism at these sites. Even the pillar shrine, where all the pillars sticking up, they're like phalluses as well. So I think there's a lot to be said for that. Considering those as kind of like Shiva lingams. Like the kind of traditional Egyptian sacred objects. They're not just male parts, if you like. So there's a sort of fertility element associated with them. It's traditional and could actually have some energetic function in the stone and the landscape.
Be fruitful and multiply. There's a lot of that iconography and imagery everywhere. One of my favorite videos is Robert Forster's running around Peru or whatever he's doing, and there's these kids running in between all these phallic symbols, and they're like, "Mommy and Daddy, look at the mushrooms," and he just goes, "Those aren't mushrooms, kids."
Yeah, that's next to Lake Titicaca. That is called the Fertility Temple. So, yeah. They do look like mushrooms, though, thankfully.
Yes.
So it depends how warped your mind is, what you see there.
Well, hey, Hugh, thank you for coming on and joining us so late in the UK. It was great. I have an interview with him that's gonna pop up, and I'll let you know when that's gonna pop up soon. From Cosmic Summit. So thank you for doing that as well. And look forward to talking again. And can't wait for your next video and all your stuff coming up, man. I'm a big fan. I'm gonna fanboy.
Thanks, guys. So. Thanks. It's been awesome. It's been a great chat. Appreciate it.
Take care. Follow Hugh Newman everywhere. Megalithomania. And dude, I'm a big time fanboy of his, by the way. So he's on the front lines, and you know, he's been doing a lot of this stuff. A lot of people have been getting credit for things like he's done. So, and he's very humble about it.
That's a shame.
Yeah, but no, because he's there for the journey. Like that's he's just
The adventure.
there. Yeah. He's a straight up nerd for this stuff, and we can
that more of that.
We need more of that. We need
Facts.
more of that. All right, so we're gonna get the super chats. We're gonna get the soups. Soups. If I can find it. And I got House of the Dragon.
I believe
House
in
of
you.
the Dragon.
Oh, I just started watching it. I've seen 2 episodes.
Did ya?
So good. So good. Yeah.
I just started watching season 1.
Are you starting from 0?
The new season.
The new season. Okay.
I've seen season 1. Fantastic.
Okay. So what did you think of the first couple of episodes?
Oh man. It doesn't disappoint. It feels like I'm instantly back in it. Yeah. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway.
I have not watched. I have not watched.
That was cool, man. Hugh Newman,
cool.
man.
Hugh
What a
Newman.
guy.
Love him. Josh Kelsey for $19.99. Josh just dropped $19.99. That's what he does. That's what he
Dropping
does.
the
He
mic.
just walks away, drops the mic.
Sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Josh. Donald N. Chains on the Streamlabs side. 3 parts for $60. Ain't found a way to kill me yet. Ear burns with stinging sweat. Seems every libtard leads me to nowhere. Wife and kids and household pets. Oval Office is no safe bet. The bullets scream to me from somewhere. One more. Hey, here they come to snuff the Donald. Yeah, here comes the Donald. Yeah, I'm not gonna sing, dude. You know he ain't gonna die. No, you know he ain't gonna die. Thank you, Donald. Donald in chains.
Vietnam.
Alice in Chains is great band. Was a great band.
Oh yeah.
Lane
Oh, yeah.
Staley, great vocalist. Drugs are bad. WG has gifted 5 Nerdrotic Live memberships, $25. Hail. So we're gonna be dual streaming for a little while until they tell me to stop. But yeah, we're gonna do that for a little while and then we'll go exclusive. But I think at this point, I mean, with a little bit of caution, treat it like Rumble. If something happens on YouTube, on the live channel,
what happens?
We're still going to be able to upload.
Know.
The one thing they'll take away is live streaming, so I'll still be able to upload clips, which we're going to do.
Not for the first week. Not while you have a strike. Yeah. Trust me, I know.
Which is fine because we don't stream on other than the show.
I have a warning on every channel, Adam.
Really?
Yeah, I do. They all expire day after tomorrow.
Rebel.
But I have a warning on every channel.
Well, warnings don't expire. You have to do the struggle section.
I did the struggle section.
Oh,
yeah, I did traffic school. It's like traffic school. And
it's so bad, dude.
It's so bad because you find out the stuff that is allowed on YouTube and you're like, why am I doing this? I didn't do anything this bad.
I know, it's crazy.
It felt so much worse.
It's so stupid.
I literally answered the question like, are you allowed to show a dildo? And yes, you are.
The answer
and I'm like,
is yes.
That's what I got in trouble for. Well, not me personally, but the intro.
Yeah.
I mean, never somebody.
That's true.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
It was somebody sucking on it. So
they were sucking on the dildo, but it's still a dildo.
That's true.
Secret
and that
Service,
video is on YouTube.
Semantics.
Secret Service lesbian. Yeah. Did you still?
Man.
That was a bad look, bro.
Can't put it in the holster.
She couldn't put it in the holster, and then there's
they were
picture. I don't know, like, if you want
of her ducking behind. Did you see that one?
I did
where she's
see that
ducking behind him.
The imagery looks horrible. It does,
dude.
What I think looks worse is she's covering his body, and there's still a foot of him or a foot and a half of him exposed. It's like, wait a minute, like
that doesn't quite work.
So you
got a hobbit. No, a hobbit woman.
There's something in front of Trump in the video. You could see the moment where that picture's taken, and you could see she's looking down, and she reaches down and like I think she shoved something out of the way there.
Yeah, something. No, the podium fell.
It's kind of weird. Like I feel like she actually was getting something out of their way
She
to
was.
move him
She's
forward.
still freaking short. Look at her. She's a midget.
True, but I mean,
Here's the
trust
photo.
me,
Let me
I'm
show
with
you.
you.
No. But
Yeah,
no,
there's the
I
photo
can
right
tell you
there.
what she was
Yeah,
moving.
no,
The
this is
po-
different.
Oh my
This is different.
God.
This
She's
is
gonna
her
make a
hiding.
sandwich soon.
I can
The
tell you- okay.
dishes. Who put the
Adam.
dishes in there?
That's fucking hilarious. Adam, she
Oh
was
my
moving
God.
piece.
Right to
the
bear
podium-
memes.
The podium fell apart,
Right.
and they were moving.
So she
pieces-
reached down to
she
move
reached
the
out to
podium
move a
out of the
piece
way.
of the podium. Yeah, I watched that
So-
video like 100 times.
So that
That's good.
I know, me too. It's really insane. I couldn't stop watching it. Actually,
Secret Service lesbian has donated after we just dissed her for $20. Thank you. Oh my God, I hear
Thank you.
bangs. Lots of bangs. Oh gosh, I'm ducking. Oh geez. I'm confused. How do I use my gunny thingy again? Oh my God.
Sounds like me.
Pew pew. Pew pew.
It's
Mighty
really bad.
Megatron, Rumble Rant for $2 says this is for Hugh. Wasn't BlackRock behind the funding or blocking of research funding on Göbekli Tepe? It's actually WEF. We don't want to confuse them,
Who knows?
although they are connected.
Who knows?
We do know that
They own everything.
The shooter of Donald Trump was in a BlackRock video. Yes, he was.
What?
Is that confirmed? I don't know if that's confirmed yet, but it looks like it. Looks like it.
It looks exactly.
I don't
like
want to
him,
say it's
so
confirmed.
it's a possibility. I'm gonna say it's confirmed. That it was just
not-
him in a
it's not confirmed.
classroom. It was just him in a classroom. Show the video.
It looks like him. It looks like him. I agree
You
with
know
you.
where the video?
I've
Do you have
seen
the
it.
video, Adam?
Yeah.
It was like raw alert. You know, they're super trustworthy on YouTube.
I've seen so many people post shit and then it turned out fake over the
Yeah,
years.
dude.
Well,
And
After
then especially the
24
past
hours.
couple days, it's like,
Most
guys,
of the
you gotta
shit's been
you gotta
fake.
stop. Yeah. That one is
I don't think BlackRock's connect. I think he just like that would be he was in a video in a classroom. So I'm not saying like, oh, this is where BlackRock recruited him.
BlackRock owns so many different things, and they're connected to so many different things. Everything's going to be connected to BlackRock in some way.
Did you see the picture of the bullet? That
Dude,
see
it, like,
the bullet
yeah.
streaking past his
Oh my
face?
God,
Yeah.
that was an insane picture.
Insane.
The Morgue 77 rant for $10. Thank you. Don't worry, it's gonna get worse. I hope not. I think it's gonna be very bad to try to get into the RNC this weekend. I think it's gonna take you forever, but I think it's gonna be like a pretty raucous event. I think if Trump shows up and
I wish
opens
I
it
went,
up
man.
on the first day, I hope my friends have a really good time there.
I hope they're
And a
okay.
safe-
I hope they're
safe
safe.
time.
I was gonna go and I
Um,
was invited because we were supposed to be up in Wisconsin.
I was invited
but-
too. Yeah.
Yeah, you were too, but we couldn't.
I wish I
make
went.
it. Yep. Kurthat is that Kurthat for a rant for $5. Love Megaliths would 100% buy a Machu Picchu Lego set. Oh, that would be fucking
Ooh,
awesome.
that would be fun.
They need to do that.
They should do that.
That is fucking brilliant. They do.
You know, they have like
pyramid,
they have
a
the
pyramid,
pyramid. They have Lady Liberty. They should do like megalithic
Hogwarts
signs.
Castle.
Come on.
Baradur,
Yeah, all factual places
all
that
real
you can go to.
places. Yes. Long last name is now a monthly supporter. Thank you very much. Sal the hamster for $5. If Trump gives the eulogy at funeral of the victim, it'll be one of the best
Mimetic.
mimetic tools of our lifetime. I mean, it depends on the family. I fully believe that family will want for nothing for the rest of their lives. Those kids, at least those kids and the wife.
Well, they'll want it for
Um,
something, but
Well, their dad, but you know what I mean. After that, they'll want for their dad.
I hope that's the case. Because they had a good, you could clearly see, or when you were reading the statement from the daughter, that they had a good family. You know, it was a good family bond. He was a good dad.
Good dad.
Fucking love.
just, man.
Fucking firefighter. He was a fire chief.
Yep.
Can't be mad
Retired.
at him. Yeah, retired.
He did his duty.
Did his duty and went out protecting his family. So that's the way you go. That's
Legacy,
That's a
dude.
proper way to go if you're gonna go.
Cheers.
It sucks
in
that
peace,
it was
Corey.
a waste of time because I can't even say punk bitch. I don't know. Manchurian candidate. Not a candidate, but some
could be.
Auton. I don't fucking know at this point. I don't
MK
know.
Ultra.
Nothing is off the table for me. There's a lot of conveniences, a lot of big mistakes, like leaving a fucking entire roof
Yeah, like the roof.
What?
In the
The
photo, the only building around, except for the ones that had the Secret Service snipers on, was this roof with the shooter.
I feel like there should have been a person there on the roof since it
I
was
agree.
a point of vantage.
100%.
I've heard-
100%.
They even had to bring this up. So the FBI guy, no, the one of the police, the kind of matter of fact guy at the press conference who had a shaved head, he brought it up. He's like, "Hey, we've had some concerns. There were some things that failed. We're going to talk about them later, and I certainly hope they get their narrative correct. But the fact that roof was empty is inexcusable.
It's insane.
Everybody's been saying it's inexcusable. Any moron can figure it out that that should be covered. Now, I think the most real explanation could be that whoever that bitch is, who's head of the Secret Service, is just gave them the bare minimum and maybe some of the worst people.
They'd been asking for
They've
more
been asking
agents.
for more, but they didn't get them. But would you put it past them? Like, okay, we're going to put the B team in there. The B and C team.
Of course.
It was a combination of DEI meets deep state trying to conveniently use the holes that were in this shit to take Trump out.
Yep.
It was right before the RNC. The Trump goes away. Boom. They put Nikki Haley in there, and like no one really has a choice because like what are you gonna do? Trump's gone, right? The RNC starts tomorrow.
Is it Ari Emanuel, the Obama's former advisor, who said, "Don't let a tragedy or a disaster go to waste"? I mean, that's
facts. What's this? What am I looking at Biden's face for?
The issues, the agenda, the vision for America. But in America, we resolve our differences at the battle box.
At the battle box?
The battle box.
What is that?
The ballot box is what he meant to say.
Oh, okay.
The battle box.
BattleBots? That's a cool YouTube show.
He's,
BattleBots were the two
catching
robots.
a micro nap right there.
Battle box.
What's this?
No
one?
audio. No audio.
No audio. Can't hear anything.
All right. Well, then I'm just gonna give you my.
Yeah, I'll pull it up.
Here you go. I just can't believe this is the day before. This is Friday. This is Friday. The sitting president says this.
Copy.
The day before, there's an assassination attempt on his opponent.
Well,
that he's talking about.
This is
in this
after.
clip.
Was it the Target?
Most importantly, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, Trump is a threat to this nation.
That's insane.
Importantly,
The day before. This is Friday. The day before.
Yep. And then there was the Jeremy retweeted it and talked about it. There was like a few days ago. Said something about bullseye, And
So we need to put Trump in the
bullseye.
target.
Yeah. So
No, in the bullseye. That's
Was
what
it
he
in
says.
the bullseye?
So
Yeah. Well, I have the quote. Let me.
better than being in the bull's butt. But remember the crosshair? Remember the whole crosshairs thing? We're gonna put the crosshairs.
Oh yeah.
Remember how fucking crazy they went over crosshairs?
Yeah. Of course. They're fucking psycho.
Mm-hmm.
Here it is.
Oh yeah. To
Quote.
put Trump in bullseye.
It's a quote. I have one job, and that's to beat Donald Trump. I'm absolutely certain I'm the best person to be able to do that. So we're done talking about the debate. It's time to put Trump in a bullseye. That was a week ago.
Yep.
I thought words mattered, guys. If fight like hell is a call to action, what is that?
Oh man. I mean, they don't give a shit about hypocrisy. They do not care. The left plays to win. They do not give a shit.
It's only their side that can only win.
And
The ends justify the means to them 100% of the time.
and people
And we need
died.
to learn that.
A human being died. A couple. I think at least there's 2 injured, and they were in stable condition today that I know about. And they almost died. Trump almost died. You're firing into a crowd of fucking human beings behind that. Just no thoughts given about it whatsoever. And that's how crazy the vitriol has become in this country, and it's been perpetuated by the media and social media on one side and one side only. It's perfectly okay to call a Trump supporter a Nazi. It's perfectly okay to call somebody who doesn't like the last fucking Jedi a Nazi. And it's become okay to the point where we're used to, we laugh and go, ha, ha, ha. But like, that's where they're going with this. And we've gotten used to it with
social conditioning.
Crazy. It's social conditioning.
Yeah.
Gina Carano says, hey, if you start vilifying one side too much, that's kind of what happened in Germany.
Yeah.
She gets fired.
And she was 100% correct.
And she was 100%
Pedro Pascal,
right.
on the other hand, gets to keep his job and get more jobs.
After saying basically the same shit, or what? Way worse.
Worse. Support Trump or even question this shit. He called you a Confederate Nazi.
Yeah,
right. True.
He doubled up. When he's from a family of commies.
Of course, that's why they like him so much.
Yep, that's why he had to flee that's why his family had to flee the country. WG for $20. What's up, WG? Odd how a lefty POS shoots at Trump. He hits a family man and kills a loving father covering his daughters.
Daughter and mother, or daughter and wife.
Daughter and wife. But when Kyle Rittenhouse rightfully defends himself in Kenosha, he hits 2 Antifa convicted sex offenders. Weird, right? Yep. It is weird that you randomly come across 2 Antifa
and an abuser.
And they're both well, one's abuser and one's a sex offender. Isn't that weird? That's like the first
well,
two
then
he
literally disarmed someone who was charging him with a pistol also.
Yep.
In a crowded street, only hitting his target under those conditions.
Oh, he was fleeing.
Rittenhouse is a freaking G. Just
literally, when you watch that video, because we watched it many times when it happened, like frame by frame, he accomplishes so much in those 3 seconds.
Yep.
The way he puts his gun down when there's not a threat, but then he turns, takes that guy that is a threat, then Roskrutz or whatever his name is comes back.
Yep.
He's a threat now. Then he pops him and then move. Dude, it was like divine intervention the way that whole scenario went down. It was crazy.
Yep.
Vets Talking. What's up, Vets Talking? For a $10 rant. Go check out Vets Talking. Louder with Crowder's team tried to go to the home of the shooter. The entire road is blocked off, and they were yelled at to leave. Check out Steve's X timeline from 16 hours ago. Pretty sus.
Damn.
I mean, it's not surprising.
There's an investigation going on.
Yeah.
So
it's like, I mean, is it sus, or did they find out who it is and then they locked his
is there
house
more
down?
Now I heard a rumor of possible explosive found in the car.
Saw that.
Yeah.
Now this is where I'll be with you, Vets Talking. Not saying I'm not with you now. Everything about this is fucking sus right now. Like everything. If this goes on longer and we just hear nothing, just like when that transmission killed some kids in a school, and they buried the manifesto and tried to bury everything because they were worried about it harming other people when people from that team were continuing to harm people. Then lots of sus shit going on.
Very eloquent.
I try.
But we are on YouTube, and you said earlier that we got to act like we're not anymore, and I'm cool with that.
Starting next week.
Oh, next week. Okay.
Starting. Adam was like, I felt unleashed.
I'm like, I kind of want to correct you on a lot of what you were saying there. I mean, you were right, but also
want to clarify.
I want to clarify.
I'm using YouTube speech. I noticed. There's automatic transmissions and there's manual transmissions.
Yeah, manual is superior.
The manual is superior, but they've shot a lot of people in schools and other places,
and nobody wants to talk about it.
Yeah, nobody.
Oh shit, we're not talking about cars. Oh no. I meant.
BLVP 2145 for $9.99. Gary, remember Rush Limbaugh said at the best, the drive-by media. They are the drive-by media. That's they always have been, right? I think just more people are awake to it. Like I've never believed them. Once I learned as a child that what they mostly regurgitated was the AP and Reuters, but it started out with the AP. The AP would send things out to newspapers, and they would just regurgitate it. Some people would rewrite it and stuff. And that's most of the national and international news. Now with local news, you had local reporters doing local reporting. That's fine. But with the international stuff, it all came from one fucking source. I'm like, well, that's not reporting.
Nope.
I knew that as a kid. Logan Miller for $9.99. I fucking love this show. And all of you, stay safe. Hail chance. Thank you. We appreciate you. Thunderstorm for $4.99. The media looked disappointed / indifferent to an attempted assassination. They certainly did, because they usually get massive boners. This is another reason I fucking hate that. I tweeted earlier today. I think there's something we can all unite under. We can all unite under this banner, and tomorrow try a little harder to hate the corporate media, because obviously we're not doing it enough. So #do better. But they get really, this is when I was really fucking done. Vegas shooting. And people looked like, the reporters looked excited.
One shooter.
They looked excited. Really happy.
Sorry.
They're like,
Another episode.
and like, this is some, you could just see it in their eyes that they were like, their adrenaline was pumping. They're like, yeah. And I'm like,
night crawlers,
people. Yeah.
Night crawlers. And that's what's weird about this. Like Super Chat just smartly said, that they're not acting like they do in every other situation like this.
Really weird. Weird.
Things that make you go,
Bubba Doom for $10. The CNN has been crap since the 90s. Yes, they got caught lying about Saddam back then. I thank God for folks like you, Benny Bangino, who's on Rumble, kills it on Rumble. Benny's always killing it. The dude destroys it. No, Bangino's, really good that he went out on his own. He's smart move. I get more accurate info from you all than legacy media. And it's just because, we're asking questions and I don't know, I'll speak for the people here. None of us are stating facts. We're just like, this is what it looks like to me right now. I mentioned it on Jeremy's stream. The first thing that hit my mind when I heard that when I saw that he was shot about Antifa.
Yeah.
First thing.
Same.
Second thing, media.
Yep.
Antifa, media. So
Third
Antifa,
thing, loud noises.
Okay. Antifa is more organized than a lot of gangs who have been around in this country for years, who have made millions upon millions of dollars pushing drugs. How does that happen? Well, Antifa's been around for a long time. It's an old organization. But how does it get that infrastructure here so fast? Exactly. And the
U-Hauls pulling them in, dropping them off. And there's another organization that's just like that. U-Hauls pulling them in, dropping them off.
Weird.
That's weird, isn't it?
Weird.
When I've seen these people are insane. Like I've seen them in Austin, I've seen them in Seattle, I've seen them in Portland. I've been in there like close to them. Antifa. Their eyes are in, like, they're gone, dude. They don't see anything. They don't see a person in front of them. They only see another.
Oh, they have the SSRIs.
I've got to find
crazy.
the documentary. I don't know who did it. I watched it 10 years ago, almost 10 years ago, and it was following a Democratic Party was it like something to do with elections and recruiting or something like that, was caught with coordinating Antifa.
Not surprised.
And it just got swept into the rug. And it was some dude, and he looked a lot like, he wasn't the same dude, but it's like it's the type. You know what I mean? He looked like the dude who was that Capitol police officer with all the tats. He looked like one of those dudes, like an angry Berkeley fuck. That's what he looked like.
And you don't need to be like, hey, take this and go there and do that. They just create an environment where insane people thrive and can exact things like this. They make the environment for that to happen.
So a pallet of bricks being delivered in Dallas during the summer.
You go bloop, you drop it off, go, it's for construction, guys. It's every day we show up with pallets of bricks on every corner for construction.
What kind of fucking Gen Zer is going to like go on to homedepot.com and go get one of those pay-as-you-go credit cards and deliver it to a corner? And for one, what the fuck is Home Depot delivering it there for? So they didn't deliver it. It wasn't delivered by fucking Home Depot. No. And so you get this pallet of bricks and you put it on a corner. That takes time. It takes effort that no stupid fucking,
wafy armed
commie online is going to do. No, this was coordinated. This is organized. This is sophisticated, and it is funded. There's no way this shit just magically happens. Dude, Portland. We forget about Portland during the Summer Love, where they had the longest riots.
He was there.
Chaz, I was there, bro.
Chaz was bad. But that building
Portland
that
was
they
crazy.
just attacked, and the federal building in Portland.
The courthouse.
The courthouse.
I went to both of them. that summer.
Months.
Portland was boarded up. Everything had plywood over it because it was after everything had happened. Insane. So they just create that environment.
Yeah.
Perfect environment for somebody to go, yeah, Joe Biden said put him in the crosshairs. I'm going to do that for my country. I'm going to put on a Demolition Ranch shirt to make it look like it was conservatives. I'm going to go get a gun. I'm going to go show up to this thing. And then the Secret Service are not fully stocked. There's an opening. Just create the environment.
Someone places a ladder right there conveniently against
we've seen that before.
The only high ground.
Leaves the door unlocked. Somebody,
they open up the door, let them right in.
Somebody leaks out a security code. It's an accident. It's and that's where this happens. There is massive incompetence, and Garrett and I talked about this earlier. There's massive incompetence, and that could be the explanation. Probably is, but massive incompetence gives you plausible deniability.
Yeah. Yep.
So you surround yourself by a bunch of very controlling idiots, and they'll fuck something up, and you'll be able to possibly use that to your advantage. It's just a theory. That's all I'm saying. It could be massive incompetence too. Look at our government. Like, that wouldn't surprise me at all. Forgetting the hey, apparently the Secret Service were farming stuff out. Then again, this is just what I heard on the internet, so I don't know if it's fucking true. That's insane. You're farming shit out so we'll see. We've already seen how the media reacts, and they didn't even wait. They didn't even give it a half-ass effort to go, we hope there's a speedy recovery for President Trump. We need to dial down the violence. No, they were just dialing up with, he was hurt, he had a boo-boo, somebody popped a fucking balloon. And then we have retards from Hollywood and other places saying this was staged.
Insane.
They killed a guy. And then there's Destiny, who's always been retarded.
Well, it's all the fucking people, man. They're going, oh man, he missed. Can you believe he missed? And then in the same breath, they're like, and Trump staged it. And it's like, wait, you're upset that he missed, but then he staged it. Like, make up your fucking mind. You are insane.
Please don't procreate.
Oh, this fucker. I was going
this
at
guy
it
ain't procreating anytime soon. So, I'll talk about dodging a bullet.
What a colossal piece of shit.
Yeah.
If this happened to at a Joe Biden rally, given there's not going to be anybody in the stands, but if this did happen over there, I would be just as sad. I don't want to see anybody die. That's a horrible thing to wish upon your people that you disagree with.
All right, we got to get through these soups. I got a show coming up in 30 minutes.
That's
29
true.
minutes.
Oh shit.
Hayden 75 for $20. Missed the show today, so I'll catch up on the VOD. Thanks, buddy. You're doing a great job. By the way, man, follow Hayden on Twitter. He's been all over the shit. He's been getting collecting clips for all the live streams. He's just been doing a great job. We love Hayden Wayne.
Yeah.
Things seem bleak. It's weird. But in Cali, people are flying Trump flags in the streets. Video has come out of the Pew Pewer acting crazy. I saw that, and I saw that on your Twitter timeline. People are uniting. We are winning. Yeah, don't get down over this. I mean, feel bad for the father who died. All right, that's I don't want that guy to get forgotten because he was just there to support. He was just there to support a political candidate. He was just an American citizen who had paid his dues. Was a firefighter, a fire chief, just retired, and his life was put out by a sick fuck, and maybe a bunch of sick fucks behind him. Don't know. And it's a miracle Trump didn't get hit, and it will only make him stronger. We got the most
didn't get
iconic
killed.
image of
He
the
got
20th.
hit.
Trump, well, he got nicked. That's what I meant. But he didn't get killed. Okay, that's what I was trying to avoid saying.
I know.
And
Sorry.
it's the most iconic image since 9/11, dude, with a flag being pulled up
for
from
real.
9/11. And yeah, dude, it's don't get down though. Absolutely don't. No, that's it. Trump says it himself. They're only going after him, and the only thing between us and them is him right now. There's others too, believe me, but you never want to put all your faith in one candidate. He's only going to be in for 4 more years anyway. So we need to put our faith in ourselves, and we need to do the work. We have to do the work. We can't just some God emperor is going to come and save us. That's not the case. Yeah. That's just not the fucking case. But if we want a chance to fight, yeah, we need him in office. But then it's up to us. Don't trust. Most of the politicians are still pieces of shit in Hollywood. Fucking Washington, same thing.
It's all an act. It's all
most
fake.
of them are, like Ted Cruz. Fuck Ted Cruz.
Ted Cruz.
Yeah. Nathan, and look at Eye Patch McCain. People used to like him. Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Nathan Cassidy for $4.99. The funniest reaction I saw was some dude trying to claim that they got the wrong guy, implying it was him. Needless to say, he came to regret those words. Yep. Roger Soul 3 has gifted 1 Nerdrotic Live membership. Thank you very much. Andrew Matthews for 5 British pounds. RFK still does not have Secret Service protection because of Biden. Yep. He's a fucking that's a Kennedy. Okay. Shakehead 4 for $9.99. I wonder how many sites are yet to be discovered because they are in areas that are difficult to get to and or in places people think don't have anything. Hughes talked about that. Graham's talked about that. Thousands. There are thousands of sites that we have never found, and most of them we never will. I think it's great that we're still, like Göbekli Tepe. There could be 1,000 Göbekli Tepes around the world. We don't know that. There's places they don't even think to look here. WG for $10. Micro targeting is the term used in propagandizing individuals. Micro targeting. And yes, you are correct, WG. Zorbu for $20. Zorbu's log supplement.
You're too fast.
Why is it that human? I love, what she was doing, everybody? She's enlarging the text for me.
You're waiting for it to adjust.
It's super tiny at 6.
Holy shit. How did I know that? I felt the vibe. It's so
Hold
funny.
on.
Yeah, that's why I gotta wait. It's like,
All right, well, while we're waiting, I just want to say we are so close to our 100K on YouTube. It's 99.9K subs right now.
So
we are under 100. What's the actual? I can't see it.
31 away.
We're 31.
31
subs. 31 subs away. Let's do it right now. All right. I know there's 31 of you out there. If you're on Rumble, do us a favor. Just jump on your YouTube channel. Okay? Just go give us a sub on Nerdrotic Live. It will become the Forbidden Frontier YouTube channel.
It will.
And then we will start doing videos. We're going to be putting our clips on there. It's going to be fantastic. Don't unsub, Gravemaster. Come on. Look at this.
Let's go.
It's happening. It's happening. We're so close. God. Come on, people. Look at this. 20 away.
Let's go.
19. 18.
No, you want sub.
Come on. No. Get in there. Look at this. 16.
Let's go.
Let's
go.
15. Come on.
Come on. We can do this.
We're so close. Oh, come on. I know there's more. There's got to be 14. 14 of you. 13 left. Let's see it.
Chatter trolls. Oh my god.
Let's go.
Come on. I know there's 12 of you out there that haven't subbed.
You can
Hit
do it.
that
Oh,
sub right
Oh,
now.
Garrett will take his shirt off if you do it.
that's right.
I will take my pants off and my shirt
Oh.
off.
Oh, hey, come on. No. Don't do that. No, don't do that.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Come on, 10 more.
I did it for Gina. I'll do it for you.
9,
8,
7, 6, 5. Come on.
We can
We're
do
so
this.
close. 5,
That's what she said. You're so close.
3 more.
3, 2, 1.
One more. Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's okay.
Oh my God, WG, what are you
I
doing?
want to save the subs.
Oh my God.
That's right, baby.
That's right.
It's 100.
We'll fade it out.
Wow.
1,000.
Wait. Let me take the
W-
music. Let me take the music.
WG, that's insane.
WG.
50.
Hey,
Gideon.
100K.
Up 30.
What? WG, you nut. 50 Nerdrotic Live memberships for $250.
50.
Holy shit.
50.
This is a first for me.
show.
Wow.
Been very serious.
It's been a very good show.
Guys,
Yes.
this is Liddy. This is Liddy.
Dude.
You know the other word.
Hugh Newman and then 100K.
That's fucking
All right.
awesome.
Now,
Awesome.
I know that most of
we
it was
gotta
you,
go.
obviously, Gary. No. I know most of it is you, obviously, and Forbidden Frontier is newer compared to Nerdrotic Live. But I have a plaque here that says Timcast IRL. Now, obviously, I'm not on that show anymore, but I do feel like I helped push it over the 100K line, and he was able to get everyone on the crew this. Now, if it's possible,
Do I look like I have the same juice as Tim fucking Pool?
He had 100K.
I think you have some sway with
You got
YouTube.
the
Come
juice.
on. Come on.
I would make one.
How
I
many
would have
subs
one
you got
made.
over on your main channel? How many subs you got over there?
1 million.
Oh yeah, okay, just a million.
80,000.
He
Do
got
you know how
over
many people
80,000.
have more than 1 million percentage wise on YouTube? It's like
10%? No.
what?
No. it's-
No, tiny.
Probably less
Yeah,
than
it's
1%.
Yeah,
That's pretty
yeah.
awesome. That's pretty awesome. I'll see what I can do. It doesn't
I
hurt
love
to
that.
ask.
See what
Doesn't
you
hurt
can
to
do.
ask. It doesn't
Forbidden
hurt to ask.
Frontier. I would love a Forbidden Frontier plaque right
That would
there.
be awesome. That
Look
would
at
be
the
awesome.
spot. It's right there. It's
We have
perfect.
to,
Right
we have to
there.
rename the channel before we ask for it.
We do.
Yes.
You got to rename it. Rename
If
it.
I'm allowed to do that, but
Yeah.
we'll find
No, you
out.
can. I
Okay.
mean, I renamed mine because
Then
I guess
let's do it.
Adam Cass was too close to a certain other one that so he asked me.
Yeah,
like,
because
told
nobody
me I
puts
had to
cast
change
at
it.
at the end of their.
Anyway.
Eric K for $2 says R.I.P. Chris Persia's father. Oh no, rest in peace, Chris
Dude.
Persia, the Canadian
Oh,
wrench.
no.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to your dad,
Sorry,
buddy.
Chris.
Sorry,
All
man.
right, man.
Zorbu for 20. Zorbu's long supplement. Why is it that human leader Trump takes a bullet and jumps back up yelling, fight, fight, fight? When Quarter Black Earthling and Krigler take a probe, they both
Whoa.
jump backwards yelling more, more, more.
Why would you jump? That doesn't make
Wow.
sense. Why would you jump
Wow.
backwards?
Wow.
To go back on it,
Cluster,
obviously.
Stus Cluster for $1.99 says Rabades. JD Kearney for $10. Rant. The simulation is playing out. Too many things being conveniently relative and suspicious at the same time. Sounds algorithmic to me. Not talking about those who planned whatever, just the weird stuff. I agree with that. There's a lot of coincidences. Hayden 75 for $10. I made a vid on yesterday. Melanie's statement, the daughter Allison's statement, then how this all ties into the culture war and why the rhetoric is important. Yeah, that it does tie into it. It ties into like what we talk about over in pop culture, this silly little thing that nobody thinks important is important, but it was important enough for activists to completely invade it. It's not like they like this shit, because they don't. And they don't care if they destroy it when they're done. So if it isn't important, why is it so important to them? If it's important to them, then it means it's important for culture. Like Andrew Breitbart said. It's downstream. Quelndar for 50 on the Streamlabs side. I can't imagine the amount of support that will rally to Trump after this. Condolences to the firefighters' family and prayers for the injured. Hail Frontier Fellowship. Hail to you, brother. Prayers to them. Thank you. Market Reality for $2 on the round. Thank God you guys are on Rumble too. Weird shit is going on right now, and the ruling aristocracy is desperate. They are. Cornered Animal, Logan Miller for $9.99. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you guys. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
I went and subbed a second channel and then I haven't used in years. Thanks, Scott Sherrington, for $10. We appreciate
Huge.
that. Huge.
Nice.
Omnistone Herald, a rant for $5. My anniversary was yesterday. Happy anniversary. I missed it just like the shooter. Uh-oh. But you're still alive. Thank God my wife was distracted by this. Yes. I can't believe you missed your anniversary. Oof.
I would never miss anything related to my wife. I remember everything, or none. I wouldn't forget her at the airport.
To pick her up at the airport. Which
nope, that's fake news.
Oh, I've done.
That was merely
I've
a
forgotten to pick up my wife at the airport. You know how I remember? She reminds me every day.
Oh well.
Rudy for $2. I'm stunned how people say it's staged.
Me too.
I'm not. Yeah. I wish I was. I'm jaded.
Yeah, same.
Daramuth for $2. Tell those gay Melanie Mac words they need to stop saying it's staged, dumb bitches. You're right. Slain Hope for $2. Type Trump and Jesus into Google Images. Turned head into Google Images.
Probably doesn't show you anything. Probably shows you like some crazy shit. I'm assuming because Google doesn't want to show you the memes.
I see a lot of AI. Yeah.
I see a lot of AI. That's that. Fucking Shad's happy though. Juan Castle for $4.99. Fellas, I think we know where we stand in these trying times. Wake up, America. It's time to rise. Get back to the right path with God. Get spiritual. Get spiritual. I did mine today. I got a new good AA meeting on Sunday mornings that I like. So that's kind of my church. And it's great. As the good book says, we are not saints. Spiritual progress over spiritual perfection. That's what we go for here. But yeah, go to church. I heard a lot of people saying their churches were packed today. Packed.
Wow.
That's good. Yeah. I think that's good. Quandar for $100. Congratulations on 100K.
Wow. Thank you.
Eleni of Hurl for $2. He turned his head right before the bullet struck. Yes, he did. Daramuth for $5. Friday's FNT is neck in views with Rumble on YouTube. That's awesome. I believe in a few months, Rumble may take over that. Congrats, Nerdrotics and FNT crew. You've earned and can't wait to see you hit 100K here. And we just did. Thank you, brother. Yeah, we had a lot of people watching on Rumble. Thank you. And thanks to Rumble. Thanks to Rumble. Simon Ho for 2 Canadian pesos. Virginia Tech. I saw it a month before it happened. Matthew Hammond for $5. Will any of this technology find its way into current technology that we use today? No. And there's a lot of reasons behind that. We can do an entire show on that. I think it'll trickle out, but a lot of it, no. John Platt has gifted 1 Nerdrotic Live membership for $5. Thank you. Tiggs 08 WK on the rant for $2. I, for one, am happy the tards in the media posted their horrible headlines. I kind of am too. Why? Because it's such obvious lie that more people will wake up. Agreed. Clear line of sight, no protection. Make it make sense. Neil 5 has donated $10. Thank you very much. One more. I'm the Singing Tiggs on YouTube. Gary, Don't hurt your drug riddled or addled on the way the Biden brain mind. Just say Tiggs. Hail, Forbidden Frontier. Tiggs. That's all I'll say from now on. Lindad for 50 Swedish krona. Greetings. Could you do an episode about the Bosnian pyramids? I visited the location and it definitely is something really old and man-made there. I would. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Cool.
a rabbit hole. D's Weebos for $4.99. Did you guys see anything about the black ring in the sky sitting in Pearland, Texas? Looked like something out of Dune. No, I haven't.
This is the black ring. Looks very strange.
It looks like smoke out of.
It does kind of look like smoke.
Maybe. I guess that makes sense.
Those can be caused naturally. I've actually seen them, but that is weird.
Cool.
Yep.
That is very weird. I never see cool stuff like that. All right. I'm going to get through as many as I can. If we can't get through the rest, I'll get them next week. Okay. Because I am on a time limit. Snakehead 4 for $4.99. Personally, if I was Noah, I would use the wood on the ark to build houses for me and my family. Yeah. Honestly, if there's an ark, that's they didn't just leave it there. They reused some of that stuff for sure.
Excuse me. I'm sorry.
Thunderstorm for $4.99. The Indian Americans brag in their own history about extermination of red-haired, blue-eyed people. They know what mounds are not their mounds. Yes.
We did an episode on that.
Yep. And I've talked about it in the past.
We'll do it again.
I think there is some political stuff, major political stuff. And that's the reason behind it. Darren for $2 reached 9.2 concurrent viewers on Rumble today. Awesome. Congrats, Nerdrotics and crew. Thank you.
Sweet.
Thunderstorm for $4.99. BlackRock and Vanguard own each other. So it's one company. Yes. They all that is true. Tiggs
all in bed together.
For $2 says found an old abandoned graveyard once, no gravestone, just creek rock with carvings. Sunny when we got there, noises in the woods, raining, and truck wouldn't start when leaving. Never went back. I don't think I would either. Slain Hope for $2. We know they chose their buzzwords with intent. Yes, they did. G2 Bryce for $5. Gary, have you thought about doing a Magic Bullet JFK episode on Forbidden Frontier? We will one on Rumble.
Yeah.
So many similarities between Trump and JFK. Yes, I was thinking that too. Back and to the left, but this was back and to the right. No, was it?
Oh, the bullet.
Right. Yeah.
To his right, yeah.
Matthew Hammond for $5. Cart boy watched Trump put on the 9th green. He had about a 20-footer with probably 2 feet to break. Sure enough, he drains it and goes, difference between me and the shooter is that I don't miss. What? Did he golf today? Did he really golf today?
I don't know.
And if he said that,
they said he was going to the UFC, and I didn't see that. So
no. But if he went out fucking golfing today,
oh, Chad,
bad move.
Yeah. Hunter for $5. This was just another peaceful protest. You're right. Daneska for €5. Guys, I think you've been infiltrated by Antifa coughing, blue hair coughing, right?
It's purple.
Matthew, yeah, it's purple. Matthew Hammond, $5 rant says Phil Labonte of Timcast and All That Remains shared about 20-minute video of a live stream where Destiny goes even more unhinged. He's always been unhinged. He's got an Adderall addled mind.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Honestly, I'm thinking about blocking him on Twitter just so I don't have to see him. I never have to see it. I see him.
He'll probably make a lot of money off this. Good for him. I hope he seems really happy.
Seems like he
stable.
Seems like a happy guy. Mark Demshock for $2. Every week I subscribe and YouTube unsubscribes me. Fuck it. That sucks.
Rude.
That's YouTube for you.
Psychotic Mongoose for £2 Congrats on 100K. Thank you. General Sod for a 99 cent pence super sticker. Thank you very much. Oliver Lavery Farage for 5 proper British pounds. After watching the Euros tonight, it's nice to be a part of a win. Congrats on the on 100K. Oh, your soccer game. I'm sorry, England. I'm sorry you lost your soccer game. I hope the team went out for pizza afterwards. None of you get that. Did you ever play soccer as a kid? Come on, Adam,
No.
you did.
Always pizza,
I was
and
a
then I love
baseball
halftime
baseball
orange
player.
slices.
I was a
I'm sure
baseball
my
player
son's
too.
gonna play
I was
soccer
a
though.
football player.
We
I was
used to
a
get hot
basketball-
dogs.
Yeah, so at halftime you get orange slices and maybe like a Capri Sun or whatever.
Capri
and then
Sun for
after the
sure.
game you go out for
Oh,
pizza.
yeah.
Okay.
A Pizza Hut.
I was very poor.
Thunderstorm for $4.99. Destiny's ex-wife made the right call to leave. Yes, she did. Obviously.
Yeah.
BMod 253 for $5. Welcome, travelers. Well, the only reason she'd
Welcome,
marry him is so you can still go out and get some. Daramuth for $2. Let's get Rumble to 100K and get your Rumble totem. Only 18,000 left to go. Oh, I didn't know there's a
Let's
totem.
do it.
Yeah.
Is there a thing for Rumble? I want to get to 100K.
It's a
on
totem.
Rumble. I want
All right, I've got to go watch House of the Dragon in 7 minutes. So
Sounds
we're gonna
amazing.
end it there. That was a hell of a show today, guys. Hell of a
You
show.
guys.
What do you got coming up, Adam?
I got Base Staff Monday. I got my regular daily show Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday night. I've been jamming. It was the week. I took the week off, so I'm coming back. Tomorrow's gonna be fun. I mean, we are diving deep into the rabbit hole of this Trump shit. I mean, I feel like we've just scratched the surface on today's episode.
yeah,
We kind of just talked about it a
So
little
much
bit.
more.
I honestly I've just been reading nonstop since it happened, so I know a lot about it, and I'm just gonna kind of try to plot a timeline, and we're gonna discuss like the Secret Service and like who's in control, how she was like working for Pepsi, and like how she landed the job because Biden gave it to her. It's a freaking. There's so many different rabbit holes surrounding it, so we're gonna dive deep tomorrow on Base Up Monday. I hope call if you're watching, you better show up tomorrow because I know you've been watching, dude. You know, Call's got a lot to say about this. Anyway, it's gonna be good. Check it out, The Krigler Show on YouTube and Rumble. Follow both. Subscribe.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Garrett, what do you got coming up, man?
Base Staff tomorrow, and then after I'm just gonna do a hangout stream, I think, on my channel, and Normal World Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Last episode of Acolyte.
Last episode of Acolyte.
Finally.
It's gonna be the worst thing I
Ever.
see this week.
Are you gonna miss it?
No, bro. It's hard.
Oh, and
It's
the plan
hard, dude.
is like no, we're not missing any Forbidden Frontiers even. So next Sunday is fine, and I'm staying in. I'm not leaving San Diego till Monday, so we're gonna do a show the following Sunday too. So
Okay. What's next week? Are we doing Barabar?
Barabar.
Barabar. Barabar.
Barabar.
It's
Barabar.
so
Wait.
cool.
such a good documentary, so well
Yeah, so
made,
cool.
so well
Yeah.
made.
So-
Yeah, it really is. good.
Everybody in the chat, go watch that documentary right now.
That's your
Barabar.
homework. Supposed to be this week, but then we got Hugh. So
Johanna.
X-Ray Girl, what do you got coming up?
I have sub to my channel. I'm going to be playing Elden Ring, the DLC, if I ever get there. And I have Moog left, so yeah, I just
He's
got to
tough.
beat him.
Just get the right psych.
I know. I just got to kill him. That's fine. That's fine. And we have actually 2 more rants left. Daramuth for 2 says, yes, Gary, if you want to know about the 100K Rebel Totem, ask Quartering. And Jeremy and Slain Hope for $2 says, I meant Google Trump and Jesus in images and look at the portrait where Trump's head is turned, exposing his right ear. It was available in July 2023.
Oh, wow. We'll look that up in the future. All right,
Thank you.
we have to get out of here now. So
Bye.
thanks to the Nerdrotics. Thanks to everyone on the left super chat, donation, and rant. You help keep the lights on out here. Thank you, Rumble. Thank you, Rumble. Thank you to getting us to 100,000 subscribers. You guys rock. We'll see you next week where we'll talk about Barabar.
See ya.
Ciao.
Bye.
Bye.
Nerdrotic.com.
Welcome, travelers, to the fringes of reality, where the strange and mysterious meet, and the thin veil between fact and fiction is torn. Welcome to the Forbidden Frontier.